Triple M NRL for Harvey Norman Home Appliances, where brands and innovation become solutions. Get inside the game with the league's biggest lineup.
Never miss a minute of the action. Listen anywhere through the Triple M NRL app.
The footy's never sounded better. Triple M NRL.
Not too far away from kickoff here at ANZ Stadium. It's overcast but dry. Our man Brent Reid has gone downstairs and he's got the coach of the South Sydney Rabbitohs, Michael Maguire.
Thanks, boys. We'll manage grand final rematch, big occasion. What's the week been like?
It's been a good week, really. We learnt a fair bit around last week's game of what it takes each week, and it's a big reminder. But for us, it was really about focusing on what we can control, and we jumped into the week with good preparation.
Did you touch on the grand final last year at all? Did it get discussed? I mean, it's been talked about a lot in the media, but does it get talked about amongst the players?
I think it's definitely from you guys. There's probably more talk, but those sorts of things are touched on. But really, it's really about the now and everything that we can control as the team that we've got. And I'm really looking forward to this game, and so are the players. We obviously weren't satisfied with how we went about things last Friday, and each week you get to rectify those things and really produce the footy that you want.
What did you take out of last week? What did you have to improve, I guess?
Well, there are a number of areas, but I thought just the hunger around, obviously, that last week's game is something that sort of comes to mind. But, there's a lot of other areas. We've got to look after the ball, and we've got to complete high, and it's been something that's sort of we've spoken about, and we know that by doing that, it gives you the best opportunity. I think Parramatta had that much possession. Any time any team plays against that sort of possession you find yourself in some tough holes.
There was a lot of talk in that game about going through the season undefeated. I mean, is there any, I guess, I don't know how to praise this, but is there any way, is there a sense of relief now that you don't have to deal with that anymore?
Oh, I don't know whether it's a sense of relief. I mean, you definitely want to win everything that you go into, but I guess it quietens down the noise, I suppose, that comes with this game and how you go about week-to-week stuff. So, it's definitely got rid of that talk.
And what about Canterbury? Obviously, I think they've travelled a lot in games this year, but they seem to come home really strong. I mean, you've obviously seen that gather in your preparation for them this week, and what do you have to do to stop that happening?
Yeah, for us, every week's a new one, and no doubt Canterbury, they're going to be fired up, ready to go in this game, just like every other. So, we're expecting fireworks, I guess, at the start of the game, and we've got to get out there and play the way we can, and go at them because they're a big team and they move the ball around, and they're obviously a physical team too, having the size they've got. So, for us, doing all the little things is a big one for us this week.
Made a little change to the bench. Can you take us through it?
Cam McGuinness, he's just pushed back off the bench, and we brought Jason Clark back in. So, looking forward to bringing Clarkie back in. He's been a big part of what's been going on at the club.
Thanks, Madge.
Brilliant, Reedy. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Michael Maguire there with Brent Reid. And now the Bulldogs have left the arena, so both sides have now completed their warm-ups. We've got Ryan Girdler, Wendell Saylor, Bill Harrigan will be with us shortly. Reedy will be down on the sideline. But look who has popped into the box. It's Rabs. We got his microphone turned off. We'll get that sorted out in a moment. There we go. We'll just put him on that one over there. Billy Harrigan, this microphone will work.
How you going, Bill?
So
good, Wendell.
Mate,
Dan?
Mate, you're looking good. Mate, can I ask this question? I know you're big on the weather. What's the weather report looking like?
Well, Reedy, down there on the sideline, mate, get a poncho, an umbrella or a raincoat because in about 10 minutes it's about to hit, and it'll hit right throughout the game.
Oh, wow. Thank God that Matty White said for me to be in the box here with Gerds, because I was going to be on the sideline.
What about this sadistic man, Billy Harrigan? He's walked straight up to Reedy and shown him the radar and said, and he's laughing at him.
Yeah.
You got any lollies today, Billy?
No, I haven't.
There is so much revenge in your mind, isn't there, to all those journalists?
Yes.
Let it go.
Journos. Well, Reedy was pretty good, but the journos, and they always give it to me, especially when I was in that second year of my referee's head coach. I got absolutely poleaxed week in, week out.
You deserved it, though, Billy.
So if they're down there on the sideline and they're copping a bit of rain now, well, that's just a bit of karma.
We still don't have a problem with Rabs. It's the first time we've ever silenced the great man.
Do you think refs cop it a bit too much?
No, it's part and parcel of the job, so you just got to cop it. Some of it you can think it's a bit nasty or you can do without, but you just got to turn around and grin and bear it, mate. It's like when someone gives you a nickname, you don't like it. If you bite, it stays there. So with all their criticism you get, you just cop it and get on with it.
What I don't like is I'm a junior footballer a fair bit, and with the kids, and some of the parents just give it to the refs and they live their life like it's a professional game, and that's where I think it stems from.
It does, and those poor young blokes out there, sometimes they walk away and say, "I'm out of here."
Now I think we've got the mic worked. Hey, Rabby.
Hey, Dan. How you doing?
Straight off the
Wendell.
zipper, Rabs.
Ryan.
Straight off the zipper and over to the footy. The zipper. You know what the zipper is, Rab?
Yeah, I know. I've seen it over at the show, but I've only been to
Twists
one.
and turns?
I've been to one show in 35 years, and that was to get a Pluto pup.
Not good for the bag.
Not good for the bowel either.
Just a little carriage on my own, thank you.
What do you think?
Great man, what do you think?
I've never seen you chew gum before. This is a first, Rabs.
No. Hey, you've done it again. Butter menthols. Filled with honey. One suck and then bang. Out comes the honey.
What about the butter menthol? Can I ask this question, mate? Who are you thinking today? I mean, obviously the Dogs, they look pretty good across the park. The Bunnies aren't quite as strong, especially in their back line.
Mate, I think Canterbury will get them. That's what I think. They're 8 down on their grand final side, South, and Canterbury only 3 by comparison. You can't replicate something that happened 6 months ago. And so therein is the most vital statistic of all. South, 8 faces missing. Canterbury, 3.
Rabs, a couple of weeks ago, everyone was talking about who's going to... Gus, they can't lose. They don't know how to lose at the moment. Then all of a sudden they have 1 week last week, a couple of players fall off, and then South can't win.
Yeah, I think you and I were talking about this last Saturday morning off air. I've just got this thing about South, and I think I've got the same thing about the Roosters. They are very prone to throw in a bad one against the unlikely sides. You know what I'm talking about? I don't want to be disrespectful, but you put them against the big ones, against themselves, against Canterbury, and they lift. But you put them against a team that they think they're going to beat. And I think that little area of complacency sneaks in. They won't admit to it, but I think that's what happened.
All right, you got to pop in and you got to finish that suck, Rabs. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, great man.
On the Sydney Dead Set Legends from 9 o'clock. And we're doing a bonus afternoon edition at 3 o'clock. So stay tuned for that if you're listening through Sydney. And the Rabs just pops out there. And, Bill, you're 100% right. The rain is tumbling down. So we're going to play this one in wet weather because it is teeming down here at ANZ.
What was that stat, Dan, just for the listeners that you came up with before?
Des Hasler teams, 19 of their last 20. They have won when it's rained. And Canterbury, it's 15 of their last 16.
Yep. I'll tell you what, I was just watching in the warm-up and Josh Reynolds, there's certain guys, Del, you just like to play with. You know, there's certain guys and you don't know what it is, whether it's their energy, their enthusiasm, their skill set, but he loved it. He revelled being down there. And I don't know, I just think there was talk he was going to come back last week, that his arm was okay. Desi hurled him off. I think there might have been a reason. They've just brought him in this week. And what an addition he's going to be just to have him out there.
Yeah, look, I like the way that Josh Reynolds plays when he plays smart. You know, I like him when he plays aggressive, but when he goes outside that, as you saw against Penrith, he does silly things like, you know, he sticks his leg out and that, and he tries to go a bit too far, push them over. But here we go, boys.
Here we go. The South Sydney Rabbitohs take us through their side from Mungle Boots. Ryan Girdler.
Yeah, Greg Inglis, Johnston and Reddy on the wings, Millard and Goodwin in the centres. That halves combination in Keary and Reynolds. George Burgess, Dave Tyrrell and Isaac Luke in the front of the scrum. Glenn Stewart, they'll need him this afternoon, and Chris McQueen in the back row with Jason Clark. So Clark goes in for Grant. Then we've got Flo, Grevsmold, Burgess and Timmy Grant goes onto the bench.
So that is the South Sydney side, immediately followed out by the Canterbury Bulldogs. They're not making them wait 4 minutes like they did at the grand final. And Brent Morris is playing today. Curtis Rona, Sam Perrott on the wings. Josh Morris and Tim Laffey, a formidable centre combination. Moses Mbai retains his starting spot. He's with Trent Hodkinson, Aidan Tolman, Michael Leisha and James Graham, the front row. Josh Jackson, Tony Williams, Greg Eastwood, the back row. Josh Reynolds onto the bench. Sam Cassiano, David Clemmer and Frank Pritchard make up the 4 players who will start on the bench. Canterbury will be running to the right of your radio dial. South Sydney to the north of this ANZ Stadium. One last time, a tip, Ryan Girdler.
Yeah, I'm going to go with South Sydney.
Wendell Saylor.
I'm going with the Dogs by 8.
Okay, Billy Harrigan.
Only with the Dogs because you just told that range statistic.
Okay, but gamble responsibly. Brent Reid, is he ready for us on the sideline down there in the soaking rain? Reedy.
All good, Dan, all good. There's a little bit of rain falling. It's not overly heavy at the moment, but it looks as though it's going to get pretty bad as the afternoon wears on, and I'm tipping South Sydney.
Okay, there we go. So split down the middle, and South will kick off in front of around 25, maybe, 25 to 30,000. There's some vacant patches where the ground is unprotected.
How many, Dan? How many? How many people?
26-144.
Okay.
There we go. And we're underway. South Sydney kick us off. And it's taken here by Hodkinson, who gives it to Aidan Tolman, leading Canterbury metre maker this year. And he's put down here 12 metres out from his own line. So it's the Bunnies and the Bulldogs. South have won 4 of the last 5 when these two sides have gone head-to-head. As Sam Perrott darts out at dummy half. Played at fullback last week. Not needed there this time with Morris back in the side. Brett. Now Tim Waffai with the top knot. Runs down the middle where he stopped here by 2 South Sydney defenders, and they're in the centre of the field as the ball is played now to Curtis Rona, NRL leading try scorer this year after the first month, and he's put on his back by 3 defenders, including Clark and Glenn Stewart as well. On the 5th play, they go one out to James Graham, and he's almost up to halfway, and then he's pushed back with Reynolds involved in the tackle along with one other defender. Last is signalled here as it comes to Hodkinson from just outside his 40. He goes high, long, and down the middle, and it's taken on the full here by Alex Johnston, and he doesn't go too far. He's driven back in the tackle, and he'll play 22 metres short of halfway. So a nice simple set for Canterbury to get us underway. Now Joel Reddy goes up the centre of the field, and he's met here by 3 defenders. Good defence there for the Bulldogs, rushing up on him. And on the next play, it's Inglis at dummy half, giving it to Millard, former Bulldog, and he's captured here 7 metres short of the halfway line. Mbai involved in the tackle. Play to Luke. He gives it here to Jason Clark, wearing 18 and running up the middle. And now he's driven backwards by this heavy Canterbury defence. 4 in the tackle. And the ball is played to Luke, who goes to the right to Stewart. Runs at the line, then a short pass to Inglis. Inglis keeps it going now to Millard. Millard, he can't get around the defence. And it's captured here by Josh Morris and Curtis Rona. Last called near the right touchline. Here's Reynolds under pressure. Puts boot to ball. It's a good torpedo bomb. Perrott is under it. Takes it on the end of the fingertips. Didn't look comfortable, but he's in the field of play. And he stopped here by 3 defenders. 5 from his own line. No score, 2 gone. Good Friday Rugby League.
Well, that's a great take there by Perrott. We saw last week Reynolds put up those high torpedo bombs and gave Hopewadi all sorts of trouble. Well, Perrott did really well under that, but gee, that's going to be a real tough thing for these Bulldogs backs to handle this afternoon.
Canterbury are struggling in this set. They've used up 3 tackles, and now with Greg Eastwood earning his side a penalty on the 4th, just as he got outside the 20. Billy, that's a big penalty because Canterbury was stuck.
Yeah, they were. It's a penalty against McQueen, just offside. And again, the referees, I just hope they don't set too high a standard early.
Billy, thanks to Bryden's lawyers, protecting your future. So Canterbury put this into touch on halfway, and it's Josh Jackson hitting it up down the right side from this penalty, and he's brought down 41 metres away. Ball is played to Leisha, gives it here to Tolman, hitting and spinning, and that's good, strong stuff with Tyrrell involved. So was Clark, and also George Burgess. They're 30 out now, the Dogs, as it comes to Graham. He sweeps across to the left to Mbai, who dummies at the line and steps off the left, but into Glenn Stewart. But the Bulldogs here are advancing it nicely. 19 out left side. Played to Leisha. Gives it to Greg Eastwood. Rumbles up the middle of the field. He's up to the 10. And now he's put down by Reynolds and also Clark in front of the left upright. Ball played to Leisha. He goes left now to Mbai. Tucks it behind the line to Tony Williams, who tries to muscle his way through, but a good strong tackle by Millard. Last signal, left touchline. They come back to the middle. Mbai, away to Hodkinson. He kicks high for the right wing, attacking Johnston's wing. Up they go. Johnston loses it, and it's on the ground. Canterbury come up with it. Knock on South Sydney.
First one against you, Alex.
Canterbury get a scrum feed, and Johnston did not look at all comfortable under that high ball. So it's the Bulldogs on top early, but no score. 4 minutes gone on the Mitsubishi Triton scoreboard.
Yeah, they look really good, don't they, the Bulldogs? First couple of sets, controlled footy, getting their big men out wide, causing some havoc on the edges, and a lovely little kick there by Hodgkinson. And we just saw Alex Johnson couldn't get up high enough. That's what these conditions do. And a big advantage here, big chance to score 4 points for the Dogs.
Wendell, it must be such a blow to a winger when they drop one early. Would it affect their confidence for the game?
A little bit, but with a young boy like Alex, mate, he'll just catch the next one, mate.
Canterbury with Graham throwing it to Mbai. Mbai, he throws a loose pass, bounces into the hands of Rona. He's got space, reaches out and scores! So from a loose pass, Canterbury create a try. No need for the video, and Rona gets try number 6 for the season. 4 points to 0. Canterbury in front. The kick will be from out wide.
Yeah, that was too easy off the scrum there for the Bulldogs. As you said, Dan, it was off a loose pass. I think it was, here we go, the coach-side replay here. It was Mbai just drifting across, went for the short play to Josh Morris, and it was, who was it out there? Reddy bit in. on Josh Morris. The ball went past Josh Morris, and then Rona just picked it up, had no one in front of him, and in these conditions was able to slide across in the corner. Great start there from the Dogs.
So Wendell Saylor, the two wingers for South, making early errors. Alex Johnston dropping one, and Joel Reddy coming right in off his wing.
Well, Rona, he's a leading try scorer for a reason. He knows how to find the line. 6 tries from 5 games now, and he's been a wonderful buy for the Dogs. But even that cross kick there wasn't Alex's fault. That's what's going to happen in these conditions. But that's not the start the Bunnies would have liked, but certainly is for the Dogs. And as Gert said pre-show there, they haven't been consistently good, the Dogs, but that will be a good confidence booster for them.
So Curtis Rona started his career at the Cowboys. He scored 6 tries in 7 games last year, and now 6 in 5 here. So 12 in 12. That's a pretty good start to a career with Trent Hodkinson, one of the best goal kickers in the business. He's got his work cut out for him here. On the non-preferred side, half a metre in. Kaspersky says 54%. Takes into account the wind and the weather, the rain. As he moves in, kicking to the southern end, starts it right, it hangs out there, and it floats out beyond that right upright. No goal. 4 points to 0. It's Canterbury over South Sydney on the Mitsubishi Triton scoreboard. Pick up a Mitsubishi Triton run-out deal today. Brent Reid, sideline.
Yeah, and I think we spoke about the Bulldogs or Des has his record in the wet before the game. I think you see there the recipe, how he does it. It was very simple. Straight down the middle of the field. They don't throw too many passes. They force a mistake and score a try straight after that. After that, it's textbook stuff.
Yeah, and you see that was on that right-hand side. Dylan Walker, when we think of Dylan Walker, you think of attack and try scoring. He's brilliant in defence, and they just missed him then.
Here's Canterbury. Now they spread it on the first tackle to Josh Jackson. Runs down the right wing, and he's thrown into touch. Well, that is a dry weather play. They immediately threw it to Jackson, who was hanging on the wing. He went for a gallop, and the defence just gobbled him up and used the wet, greasy surface to help him over the sideline. That's criminal. South Sydney scrum feet 30 metres out.
Yeah, just after Rudy said how they just like to play straight up and down, but it was Tolman there, just found himself in a little bit of open space. Look, it was a good play. I just don't think the conditions were right, Del. It's wet. You get thrown over the sideline and just found himself sliding into the grandstand.
Exactly. As an outside back or even as a player, you've got to give yourself a few metres there because you're going to slide on a day like this.
So South will feed this. Their first chance to attack. Keary on the left side. Feeds it. Luke breaks at the back. He throws it right as it comes across him. Glenn Stewart, he almost puts George Burgess through, lurking on that right edge. He's taken by Eastwood. Played to Luke. Luke brings it back to the middle with a pass to Clark, and he punches it up to the 10-metre line, where he's met here by Graham. South here, middle of the field. Luke goes to the right to Reynolds. Reynolds to Glenn Stewart. He dummies. He bumps off Mbai. Now comes back to the middle as he passes to George Burgess. Winds up and almost gets through in the same spot he scored in the grand final. Plays it 2 away. Played to Luke. Goes right to Tyrrell. Bashes his way to the line, but he's easy meat for the defence. That's 4 gone. As the ball is played to Luke, goes the skinny right to Reynolds. A chip kick for the corner. Not big enough. Rona takes it on the full. In the end goal. 7 tackles set and a 20-metre tap. So Canterbury here, they survived their first test as now the rain really tumbles down. 4-0. Dogs over South. Mitsubishi Triton.
They did really well there, Curtis Rona. Reynolds ran the ball just a little bit to try and bring him up on that short side, but he just stayed back enough and had confidence. Gee, we saw the size of him last week too, Dan. He must be about 6'4", so he's a big fella and he took that one well.
So South here putting in the big ones in defence as Canterbury work it out, but the Dogs here approaching halfway as Tony Williams throws away Dave Tyrrell like he's a little halfback. Eventually he's gobbled up the big T-Rex almost on halfway on tackle 2. As Alicia goes into dummy half and he feeds it to Eastwood. And he tucks it under the arm and gets it beyond halfway. We're now played to Alicia. Alicia to Graham. Graham to the right to Hodkinson. He keeps it going to Jackson. Jackson now gets a pass to Laffey. The defence slides across nicely though and they take him comfortably. Right side of the field. Here's Sam Perrott skipping across field back towards the middle. Around 1. Then he throws a long ball to Josh Morris down the left side. He takes off. He dummies. Not fallen for. Joel Reddy again raced in. This time it came good for him because he got the man in the middle. Last tackle. They come to the right to Mbai. He gives it to Hodkinson. The up and under again going for Johnston. This time he goes up and takes it on the full. And he'll be put on his back 7 metres out from his own line. Good game, 4-0, grand final rematch. Bulldogs over South. Mitsubishi Triton. As good one is cleaned up by Greg Eastwood. And South here go nowhere on the third play as Reddy picks it up at dummy half. And he's easily contained. So they're inside their own 20 here. Played to Luke. Gives it to George Burgess. Hasn't had much involvement yet, the big fella. And then he loses the ball as he goes to ground. Penalty. Penalty to South Sydney for a strip. Interesting call, Bill, but it was nice and decisive. James Graham is furious.
Yeah, and it was a correct decision. Gav Morris, the assistant referee, was only about 2 or 3 metres away. The referee said to him, stay there, there's numbers in the tackle, and bang, out comes the ball.
Looking here at a coach.
Just seeing on the replay now, yep, and you can definitely see it there stripped out.
No doubt about that one. So a correct decision, and we are now at 1 penalty apiece. Holden Cup, Bulldogs hung on. They were up 20-0. Ended up winning 20 points to 18 over South. But now the Bunnies inside Canterbury territory. Millard taps it on the right, throws it to Reynolds. Reynolds gives it to Tyrrell, who works upfield. And he's taken by Tolman. Played to Luke. He goes open left for the pass to Keary. Skips across, then turns it inside to George Burgess. And he runs into the 2 front rowers for the Bulldogs. 28 out centre field. Played to Luke. Goes left to Keary. Keary runs diagonally and then turns it in field to McQueen, who's picked up and dumped by Eastwood and also Lisha. Played it now to Luke. He jaunts across to his right, then he gives it to Reynolds. Reynolds has his man Stewart overrun him, so Reynolds just has to step back in field and take the tackle. They're a little bit out of sync here, the Bunnies, 11 away. Ball is now played as it comes across to Clark at first receiver, runs into the line and throws it back to Luke. Luke, stab kicks for the end goal, the race is on. The Queen trips over, but the ref says that was legal, and now he has back-chatted the referee and been penalised. And that will be a penalty for Canterbury from their own 20-metre line here. Bill Harrigan, that's an interesting call from the ref.
Yeah, it was. He just got to the 20-metre and he did a kicking motion as if he was saying that the ball got kicked further away and therefore
slow down the restart.
Slowing down the restart and therefore giving them the penalty rather than the tap.
It was actually a good little play there by Isaac Luke, starting to find a little bit of space around the dummy half. That's when he's so dangerous. That time it was an early tackle. I'm not sure whether the kick was the right option, but McQueen was going through. He felt like he got tripped over, was appealing to the ref, so in disgust kicked the ball away, and now we've got the Bulldogs on the 40-metre line attacking the Bunnies line.
Only one tackle gone. Canterbury 4, South Sydney 0. Here is Tolman hitting it up on the second play.
In these conditions, I'd like to see that bit more of that green stuff right there, kicking along the ground rather than the air, Gerds.
Here it comes to James Graham hitting it up, this time not passing before the line, and he's met in the middle of the field. 25 metres out. Here's the ball played to Lisha. He throws it right to Eastwood. Eastwood to Hodkinson. Turns it infield to Jackson. Runs beyond his own player, but that's okay. He then keeps the game to Embai. Embai to Tony Williams. Catch and pass to Josh Morris, who jinks at the line, but he can't get through Reynolds. Looks like the plan is to test out the South Sydney halfback, and they've drawn a penalty.
You went to it, Darryl. Went to that arm and held on.
So that's the penalty for the Dogs. That's their third on the Kumo Tyre stats. Daryl Millard is the guilty party as the rain continues to tumble. And the Dogs here walk it back to the 20-metre line. They're not going to go for goal. Inby takes the tap on the left side, throws it right to Graham. Graham keeps it going to Eastwood, and that South defence just sits back and waits. And Eastwood gets it to the 10-metre line easily. Plays it now for Lisha. Turns it infield to his left to Graham. Graham across to Hodkinson, but Reynolds, his opposite number, rushed up on him and barreled him. What a tackle that was. And now this ball will be played here. In fact, it was Millard who made the hit. And here's Hayden Tolman tucking it under the arm and working it towards the posts. He's taken on 3, 5 away. Lisha dummy half. Goes right to Hodkinson. Hodkinson to Brett Morris. Stepping and jinking away from Keary, but he can't evade his opposite number there. And the ball will be played 9 metres away. Canterbury here on the right side. Comes across field to Jackson. Jackson to Eastwood. Eastwood evades Clark, but Clark gets some help from the 2 South Sydney front rowers, and they bring him down 8 away. Last tackle. Lisha goes right to Hodkinson. Quick pass to Jackson. Trouble. Jackson throws it. Bounces into the hands of Parrott. Parrott dives from the line and scores. Again, a loose pass for the Dogs. Comes off for them. Okay. Although we might be going upstairs.
Bernie. Got up last. Try. Yeah. Want to ensure there's no obstruction, mate.
Bill Harrigan, your first thought, it could be Canterbury 8-0.
Yeah, my first thought is this is a try. But as soon as you see anybody start running through and there's any bit of a check on a player or anything like that, they're always going to check it. The referees were both about to award it. It was the touchy who just said, let's have a look. And we're just seeing on the Coates Eye replay now. You can see that runner comes inside and the defender is drawn to him. So there's not a problem there. This is a nice, easy one for the video referee. Give a try.
Well, we always say that, Billy, that it's nice, easy, and it never tends to be that way.
This will be, surely.
That's a try.
In the box today is Bernard Sutton.
Yeah, they're looking at the
Let's
put
give
down
a bit of faith in him and he'll go for a green light.
Looking at grounding, gentlemen. This will be a 4-pointer. Here we go. Let's get confirmation. Parrott has got the try. It's official, and it's now 8-0. The kick will be from out wide.
Yeah, once again, man, a really bad decision made by the South Sydney outside backs. That time it was Bryson Goodwin. Just bit in. It was a last tackle play, and we saw it passed out the back to Hodkinson. He gave a nice ball out the back to that man. It was the back rower, Josh Jackson, who found himself in some open space. He did really well. He actually attracted the winger and went for the overhead pass. And although it went a little bit behind Sam Perrin, he was able to track back, get his hands on the footy and slide in these wet conditions. But it was the lead runner that went through that got the attention of Bryson Goodwin, who bit in. And as Billy said, he came right in and left a massive hole there for Josh Jackson to just stroll through, and the Bulldogs set up their second try. And they look like they're doing it really comfortable this afternoon, guys. You know, they're just sort of playing through the middle. Good late footwork at the line. Is really hard to defend in these sort of conditions. And then when they spread it wide, looks super dangerous.
Is it just me, or does George Burgess not look himself today? He just doesn't seem to have that verve that he's had in the past.
He's looking good to me, mate.
Okay, thank you, Joey. 3 metres in from touch. Hodkinson, Kaspersky kick predictor says 42%. So doesn't like his chances here, but he's on the preferred side this time. But no, this is the non-preferred side. What am I talking about? But it's preferred for him because he strikes it at the left upright. It drifts in, and it's now 10 points to 0. Canterbury over the South Sydney Rabbitohs. The kick predictor powered by Kaspersky. Protect all your devices from nasty online threats. Kaspersky.com.au. We go down to the sideline. Brent Reid.
Yeah, their starts have been one of the big problems for Canterbury this year. They haven't started many of these games well, but I'll tell you what, they started well today, and the worry for South is they come home strong, so there's a mountain to climb for the Rabbitohs.
Here we go again, the third restart here for the Rabbitohs. We haven't seen Inglis have the ball, I don't think, at this stage. As Brent Morris, the fullback, takes it. Gives it to Tolman, who ducks under a heavy tackle from Tyrrell and also George Burgess as the rain appears to be getting heavier. Now comes to Greg Eastwood, who rumbles upfield. Quickly, Reedy, is the rain getting worse?
Oh, no, it's actually got a little, well, it feels like it's got a little lighter, Dan. But it's all relative, Dan. It's very heavy.
I can see on the Triple M umbrella down there. Good stuff, Reedy.
Yeah, what about those poor people behind you, Reedy, that now have their view obstructed because you don't want to get wet?
They've got a view of me, Dan.
Here it comes to Michael Elisha. Geez, see, your attitude, Wendell and Gordy and all you blokes, has rubbed off on him. As now they run downfield.
More so Gordy.
Gets to halfway here with James Graham. Last is signal. Good set for Canterbury. Here it comes to Hodkinson. A long driving kick, but Johnston plucks it out of the air. 12 out from his own line. Now runs towards the middle. Now he drifts off to the right as he gets rid of Tony Williams, but he can't beat Josh Morris, one of the best centres defensively in the game. And the ball will be played here 5 metres in from touch. So they come back to the middle on the next play, but they don't go anywhere as these Canterbury players swarming all over the Bunnies in defence. Now Dave Tyrrell goes one out. Doesn't go too far. Bumps off one, but then is dragged down 18 short of halfway. Isaac Luke dummy half. Passes to Clark. And like a battering ram, he gets to within 8 of halfway as Tolman is there to meet him. Play to Luke. Gives it to George Burgess. Stepping at the line. Running at Jackson. Jackson gets some help from 2 more. And they're just inside Canterbury territory as the last is signalled. And Reynolds again goes the torpedo bomb. That's deep, and it's caught easily by Brett Morris. 10 out from his own line. Runs down the middle and takes defenders with him almost up to the 30. Canterbury doing just about everything right so far as Hodkinson dummy half feeds it away to the last try scorer, Pirrett, who makes a good 10 metres as he plays it. 10-0 Canterbury, and now Tim Laffey goes for a one-out run down the right channel, and he's almost up to halfway, where he's met by Keary and also Goodwin. Played to Elisha, who's going to go down the right again. He gives it to Hodkinson. Hodkinson to Jackson with a bit of space. Steps in field where he's met here by 2 defenders, but the meter's coming quite comfortably. As the ball is played to Elisha, he goes left to Tolman. Tolman to Graham, who takes off. It goes down the middle and is closed down eventually. But Canterbury only 22 out. Last tackle, they go left to Mbai. Mbai with a bullet pass here to Brett Morris. Chiming in, stepping through, gives it to Eastwood. Trouble. He flicks it out the back and it's gone forward. Taken by Keary. Play on. Keary, now they'll play the forward pass.
Pass is forward.
Brett Morris just stepped past one of the defenders. That was A wonderful move, but they just couldn't finish it off, the Dogs. Eastwood went for the all-or-nothing play. He had to. It was the last tackle, 10-0 Canterbury.
Yeah, but he didn't need to go for the out-the-back flick. There was a man on his right-hand side. I think it was Josh Jackson backing up there in support of just a nice, quick hands pass, and he would have been under the post. Bulldogs doing it really comfortably, and you just get the feel. You spoke about George Burgess before. He's not getting a lot of support out there, Dan. You know, they've lost a lot of their side. You know, you got Glenn Stewart out on that right edge, who's a bit of a ball player. You got McQueen out this side. He's not a big body. Tyrrell's just getting hammered every time he runs the ball. So George Burgess is carrying a lot of the weight of their go forward, and they're going to need more of this. Isaac Luke getting into dummy half. GI's going to have to get into dummy half, but they need to get some yardage. Otherwise, the Bulldogs are just going to walk all over him.
I don't think English has been tackled yet in this game. Here's an attempted 40-20 from Reynolds, but it's cut off by Sam Perrott on his own 20. Runs across field towards the middle, where he's stopped here by Keary and Stewart and McQueen. Good chase. Canterbury 25 short of halfway, leading 10 points to 0. Mitsubishi Triton. Get your tweets in at @MM_NRL. We do those for Ream Hot Water Heaters. Now a lovely bustling run here from Laffey. He had 4 defenders on him and he made 15 metres. And that play the ball, which was quite quick, allows Rona to go upfield and make some metres. And now he plays it quick at Alicia. Inside ball to Eastwood. Down the middle he goes. Eastwood comes to the fullback, and a brilliant tackle by Inglis.
Had to give it.
18 metres out. Centre field, Canterbury. They've got South on the rack here. Now it's played here to Lisha to Graham. Graham to Mbai. He throws a chancy pass. It's off hands. It is 6 to go. It comes across to Mbai, and he is taken here 5 metres away. And it is 6 to go. That's the first. Again, a little bit of luck for Canterbury off a loose pass. Ball is played to Tolman, who dummies out of dummy half, has to go himself, gets to within 2 metres. Captured on the left side of the field. Played to Mbai. Throws it right to a flat-footed Graham, who takes off towards the left upright and is closed down by George Burgess. Played to Lisha. Throws it right to Hodkinson. Long pass to Brett Morris. Now to Laffey. No look pass to Perrott. Steps inside 1. Takes off. Now he's closed down. Captured here. 10 in from touch. 5 away. Played to Laffey. Bullets it left to Hodkinson. A long ball to Tolman, who didn't know what to do with it, so he turns around, goes himself, and is easy meat for the defence. Now played to Lisha, who goes to the right, then turns it infield to Jackson, runs down the middle. He can't escape one of the Burgeye. That was George, and the tackle affected 7 away. Last tackle, Mbai throws a long ball, which is dropped by Rona. And South's come up with it. And Mbai there thought that the Rabbitohs defenders were going to jam in. This time they didn't. Rona couldn't handle it anyway, but even if he did, he was going to be under some pressure. 10-0 Canterbury. Here's a penalty for South Sydney.
Simple penalty there, Dan, where they just say all over him, get off him, all over him, penalty.
And that is most relieving for South, because they are being ambushed at the moment, Ryan Girdler, and a great kick into touch, 45 metres out where they start this set.
Well, that's the only way they get out of trouble at the moment, Dan. Their go-forward stopped. As we see, Thomas Burgess just comes on, and so does Greswell. Don't they need some fresh legs out there? Because after, 20 minutes in this one, Dan, they look shot.
When was the last time a South Sydney side was battered in the forwards like this?
100%, Dan, but I've got to say, this young kid, Greswell, mate, he's been outstanding this season, so hopefully he can add that spark that we used to see.
Here's South Keary stepping at the line. He gets around Graham, but he can't get rid of Brett Morris. 18 metres out, the tackle affected in front of the left upright. The ball is now played to Luke, who goes right to Clark. Clark to Reynolds. A little grubber kick. It's off a Canterbury player, but back there is Mbai. He's taken, and then they drive him into the goal, but the referee says second attempt, and that's a Canterbury penalty.
Yeah, there was 2 players in there on the tackle, and they'd stopped him just short of the line, so he was okay to play it, and the third South Sydney player came in, flopped in, pushed him over the line, easy penalty.
Reynolds going for the early grubber kick there, and Mbai was back there, and in the end, it is a penalty, so Canterbury put it into touch. 20 from their own line, 10-0, Dogs in front.
Yeah, interesting play there by Reynolds. As you said, Dan, they haven't had a lot of ball. I think they're at about 35%, and on the third play, and one of their first attacking sets on the Canterbury line, he kicks it. Interesting.
So here's David Clemmer punching upfield. This is where Canterbury are so good, when their giant bench players come into the game. And Clemmer works it within 10 of halfway and gets another penalty. Jason Clark is pinned. 5 penalties to 1 on the Kumo Tyres stats. All Canterbury's way. That can't be all that surprising, because Canterbury have had all the ball. A little bit harsh though, Billy, that one on Clark.
Yeah, that one was a bit hard. They could have done without that one. He'd still got up pretty quick. He did climb back over the top of him, but didn't affect the speed of the play of the ball.
Well, what a big set this is now. 35 out. They take the tap as it comes across to Josh Jackson, and he gets to within 25 metres of the south line. Canterbury 10-0. Ball played to Elisha. Goes right to Hodkinson, then he floats a pass. It's a bit wayward, but it's eventually gobbled up by Perrott, but who has no option but just to cut back infield and take the tackle. 18 away. Played to Elisha. Goes left here to Sam Cassiano, rolling over the 10, and he's eventually captured 5 away. Plays it for Elisha. He throws it left here to Graham. Graham throws a terrible pass behind the line. It's on the ground. Souths have got the ball. And finally Canterbury are punished for that pass that goes to ground as Reynolds picks it up. And on the next play, Darryl Millard goes nowhere as the South fans trying desperately to earn their side a penalty. Here's George Burgess going upfield, but he's easily taken. And the ball is now played to Luke, who throws it here to Tim Grant. And Grant gets it to within 15 of halfway. And they'll play it now for Luke. Luke goes to Grevesmore. And he's captured easily with the markers getting involved. And that's the last call. They're behind halfway. It comes to Reynolds, just outside his 40. He's got some angle on this kick, and it won't quite go into touch. So it takes a bit of a left-hand turn. It's taken here by Perrott, who runs to his 10, but Glenn Stewart leads the race and barrels him backwards. Great tackle. 10-0 Canterbury. 15 and a half to go on the Mitsubishi Triton scoreboard in this first half as Curtis Rona goes nowhere on play 2, and you get the sense South have gone up a gear in these last couple of minutes. Here it comes to Josh Morris running down the left side, and he's captured by 2 players. Ball is played now, and here's Brett Morris running out of dummy half. He shakes off the markers, and he throws it here to Elisha. Elisha keeps it going to Clemmer, and Clemmer is eased into the ground, 19 short of halfway. Now here's Cassiano, one out, rumbling, getting the arm free, but he couldn't find anyone to give it to, so he's taken just shy of halfway. Here's the ball played on the last. Elisha across to Hodkinson. Drills a kick low and long. And it's eventually going to be picked up here by Inglis, who I don't think has been tackled so far today. There he goes, and he's taken easily by 2 defenders. So 21 metres out from their own line. South trailing 10 points to 0. As now here goes Bryson Goodwin going downfield, where he's taken by his opposite number, Laffey. Good quick play the ball. Allows Keary here to give it to Grevesmore, and he powers up to the halfway line, and he'll eventually play it on tackle 3 for Luke. Luke throws it right to Reynolds, runs across field, then dumps it infield to Grant, where he runs into some traffic as he's taken by 2 Bulldogs forwards. On the next play, Luke to Keary, Keary to Inglis. Inglis forces a pass into the hands here of a man on his outside. Canterbury have got the ball. The ball has come free as Goodwin goes without it for South, and the Bulldogs have got the ball. So Mbai will get up and play it, 20 short of halfway. Now Inglis trying to force that pass, and it went astray. Here it comes to Tony Williams, barreled into the ground by Grevesmore and one other. But Canterbury near halfway here as the ball is played to Rona, who just picks it up from dummy half, runs towards the middle. Ball comes free. South have got the ball. Heavy tackle. And Thomas Burgess has got it here, but they're going to pull this up, Bill Harrigan.
First one of the Bulldogs into the South Sydney player who didn't control it to start with.
Great result anyway for the Bunnies as we look at a Coates Hire replay. And Ryan Girdler, Glenn Stewart is trying to single-handedly lift these South Sydney players.
He's been in this situation plenty of times before, Dan. You know, they're on their heels at the moment. He's trying to lift their side. Every kick chase, he's the first one up there. He's coming out of the line, putting shots on. He just forced an error there with some really good contact. But it's not their defence that they're struggling with at the moment, Dan. It's their attack. They're not fluent at the moment. We saw Greg Inglis. They came through with a play that they've been doing so well over the last 12 or 18 months, and it just looked cumbersome. It looked slow. And then when they dropped the ball, they've made no effort to dive on it. The urgency's gone out of the side. They look a little bit lost out there, boys.
So here come the Bunnies now with Grevesmore rumbling upfield from this scrum win, and he gets it over the 40 and almost up to the 30. Canterbury 10, South 0. Here's Luke dummy half. Goes to the right to Reynolds. Reynolds now to Inglis. Inglis away now to Millard, who had an unmarked man on his outside, but he couldn't give it to him. So he takes the tackle, 25 out. Played to Inglis. Comes back to the middle with a pass to Grant. He tucks it under the arm, gets it beyond the 20 and plays it 18 away. Played to Luke. Luke goes to Stewart on the left. Keeps it going to Keary. A no-look pass to McQueen, who drops it. Got caught up in traffic. Ball came free. Brett Morris comes up with the ball. Canterbury 10-0.
Well, I was going to say, it'd be quite flattering if the Bunnies had scored here, but they don't look like scoring at the moment, boys. They look like they're under the pump. But also, Inglis has got to put his mark on this game. At the moment, he's had one run and just doesn't look like he's interested at the moment.
Brent Reid, we've got a significant change about to happen.
Yeah, Josh Reynolds is about to come on for Michael Elisha, so look for him to go into hooker, I'd say, at this point.
Yeah, well, it's working at the moment with Hodkinson and Mbai. And Mbai, speaking of that, man, he dummies and takes off and then was taken by the back of the collar by Thomas Burgess. Ref said that was a fine tackle, and we continue. Now on the next play, Clemmer to Cassiano.
Great hands.
Pass, which is miraculously caught by Jackson. He accepts the tackle, but that should have been a knock on. He did brilliantly. Now on the fifth play, it's taken here by Hodkinson, who kicks along the ground, and Inglis just lets that sail past him along the ground and trickle in a touch. There's nothing not right with Greg Inglis, boys.
Well, he knows that they need a break. If you look at this South Sydney side retreating now, they're hands on knees, they're all struggling, they're trying to suck him in. At the moment, they're doing everything on the back foot, and that can just be exhausting. Then they look up and Josh Reynolds comes on, another start of Origin player. He's going to go into hooker. I think everyone's looking forward to seeing how he goes in there. But Moses and Mbai, his combination with Hodgkinson has been really good out here this afternoon. He looks like he's going to be one of those players that just grows and grows and grows, and he's going to be a quality first grader.
I think it's another Queenslander too, Gerds, which I'm enjoying. But just GI there for me, that urgency, he can make something happen from nothing.
Here's the scrum for South, and Luke from the back gives it to Inglis, but the defence is in his face, but they came up too quickly.
I was going to say he had an easy penalty there,
here we go.
A mile offside the Dogs, and he let the play right out.
Now Inglis gets into a little push and shove with James Graham, who's most fired up today. And
well, I tell you what, Reedy picked it. He said, Greg Inglis, Dan, he doesn't like playing in the rain, didn't he? That was his late mail.
It was Joel Kane.
Joel Kane,
Joel Kane, was it? Sorry, Reedy.
I think the words we put in his mouth were, Greg Inglis can't play in the wet.
Well,
he mightn't have been so stern with those words, but at the moment, South's 42 metres out as the rain gets a little heavier and the light starts to take effect. McQueen goes upfield. He's claimed 32 metres out. The ball is played now to Luke, who throws it to his right to Reynolds. Reynolds uses 2 minutes decoys and throws it to Inglis, who drops it. Now, it comes away to Josh Reynolds, who's got a bit of space down the left wing. He gets away from Glenn Stewart, runs around Inglis, now over halfway. Now he runs directly sideways to the middle and finally closed down by Luke.
Oh, how good is he? Don't you love watching him play?
Zero tackle, played to Mbai, throws it right to Hodkinson. Hodkinson gives it to Jackson, who just stands there, then dumps it infield to Tim Laffey. And Laffey can do some good things, but he can't do anything in that situation, and he's brought down by McQueen. And Thomas Burgess, and Laffey has been hurt.
Tackle one.
Laffey has been hurt in what appeared to be a totally legal tackle. And he's lying face down into the ground here. He appears to be in agony, and time obviously called off with 9 minutes and 9 seconds left in this first half. Looking at a Coatsire replay. Brent Reid, did you spot anything there?
Oh, his left knee.
Yeah. No, I didn't say. Well, I just saw it on the replay along with you guys. It looks like it might be his... they're looking at his back, I think, so I'll keep you updated. It looks like a stretcher's coming out.
Looked like he had his left knee caught, and then as he got twisted from Dogs players, had his knee and then obviously hurt his back, but he's laying on his stomach now.
What a real blow there for the Dogs. He's had injuries early on in his career, and he's been able to put a couple of seasons together. He's a fantastic player, and unfortunately doesn't look too good
Something
for
we
his
don't
left
see
knee.
often, Wendell, is a player sort of lying face down into the ground
see
like
that,
this.
Dan?
Yeah.
Is that your dreaded syndesmosis?
Nah, that's not syndesmosis. That's
and unfortunately for him, it's his 50th game too. So you talked about he's had a lot of injuries because he's been around a while. Has he played for Samoa?
Yeah, that's the ankle actually got twisted underneath the body there, and looked like he fell on it awkwardly. They're checking the knee at the moment, so they're doing all the anterior, posterior tests.
This all comes back the way they make the way they tackle these days. They have a bloke around the legs, they hold him, but for some reason they've always got to push him back towards his own line to create extra time for the defence to get back and slow the play the ball down. And in doing so, it is ripping these blokes' knees, ankles and everything apart, whereas the old days they used to grab them, hit them and pull them down straight to the ground towards the oppositions or towards the goal line that they're running. And then you wouldn't get all these rips and tears and everything in it. And that's what they've got to go back to. They've just got to say, when you grab a bloke, pull him down, take him straight to the ground.
But that's why, when they're talking about these interchange rules, that's what's going to happen, I reckon. It's going to stop a lot of this sort of stuff. But we might get a few more soft tissue injuries, hamstrings and calves and etc.
This is going to cause a reshuffle because Laffey is out of the game and Elisha comes in. So they're going to have to now have a situation where Lisha, Mbai and Reynolds are on the field at the same time.
You push Josh Jackson, I reckon, to the centre on the right side here.
Where he's basically parked anyway.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. On the edge.
So Canterbury here, early in the tackle count, restart. They're leading 10-0. And here's Clemmer, rumbling upfield. We'll get a Lockwood injury update on Tim Laffey as soon as we can get it from Brent Reid. Play to Lisha. He throws it right to James Graham. Not really looking for the offload or the pass before the line. He just hits it up to the 20-metre line where he plays it to Lisha. He goes left to Cassiano. A lovely pass behind the line to Josh Reynolds, who tries to side his way past Glenn Stewart, but Stewart and Millard pick him up and dump him on the left side. 11 metres away. Played to Josh Morris. Throws it right to Tony Williams. Keeps it going to Cassiano. Cassiano carries 3 defenders almost to the line. Somebody stop him. He'll play it under the post. Last tackle. Lisha goes right to Hodkinson, turns it infield to Jackson. Jackson has a go himself for the line, and he's put down, and that's a changeover. Well, they went for the lot there, thinking the Souths mightn't have been ready for that play. But they held their ground in the middle of the field. Greg Inglis was involved in the tackle, so was Tim Grant. 10-0, Canterbury over South.
I think that's about the third time they've run it on the last play, all down this right-hand side, Dan. So they've obviously identified a weakness there, and it seems to be down Bronx Goodwin's and Bryson Goodwin, and Alex Johnson's side on that last play. They might drop back a little early, but every time Josh Jackson's had the ball this afternoon, gee, he looks dangerous, powerful runner, great feet, and he's doing all sorts of damage on this right side for the Dogs.
Here's a good bustling run from Inglis. On the third, he's brought down 25 short of halfway. Now Luke runs out a dummy half and makes some good metres where he's finally closed down. Played to Keary to Reynolds. He kicks from behind his 40. This has got a bit of pepper on it, but it's cut off by Sam Perrott inside his own 20. He runs towards the middle as he traverses left. He comes at Glenn Stewart again, first one there, and he gets him by the shoulders and brings down the Canterbury winger. Now the ball is played to Brett Morris, gives it to brother Josh running down that left side. And Thomas Burgess and also Reddy are there to meet him. 20 short of halfway as now Curtis Rona, the first try scorer today. He goes one out down the centre, and he's closed down by Tim Grant and one other. 12 short of halfway. Ball played now to Lisha, who gives it here to Clemmer, and he barges his way through and beyond the halfway line. Another excellent run. These Canterbury forwards are unstoppable today. Here's Lisha, goes right to Graham. Pass before the line of Hodkinson. He's going to Mbai, throws a dicey pass into the hands of Perrott, goes down the wing, and he's taken by the shorts. Last signal. Thought that pass from Mbai might have been forward. We get to the last. Hodkinson bullets a pass to Reynolds. Middle of the field. He chip kicks. It's a terrible kick, and it's taken by Reddy, who stays in the field of play. And a bit of rust there from Josh Reynolds. He couldn't quite get the distance he was looking for. Inglis now runs it out on the second play, but he's smashed by Castellano.
Yeah, their fifth tackle option has been pretty ordinary, the Dogs. They're trying to get that repeat set, but it's just not happening for them, or they're running it, as Gert said before.
So now the ball is played by Millard. And on the following play, it's the other centre in Goodwin who goes nowhere on the fourth. They're on their own 20. Played to Luke to Keary. Keary releases Johnson, who's got a room down the left side. Comes to the fullback, kicks over his head. The race is on. Johnston can't get there because Brett Morris has somehow poked his nose in front of the South Sydney Flyer and got to the ball first. What a recovery from Brett Morris, who was gone. Canterbury 10-0. That is some play from Brett Morris.
Two thoroughbreds right there going head-to-head, and Brett Morris comes out on top of Alex Johnson there. Great play, Brett Morris.
Using his experience, he bodies his way past Johnston, gets down low, gets there first. So now we're down to 5 minutes and 27 seconds left in this first half. Here's a lovely darting run from Lisha. They let him run, and South's looking fatigued as Lisha almost to halfway. Last call. The ball is played to Reynolds. He gives it to Hodkinson. Stabs a kick. Won't find touch as Inglis gets to take this ball without breaking stride. He took off, but then was chopped down around the ankles by Josh Jackson. And Inglis, look at him. He's on his haunches there. He's stretching out his leg. He's not right, Greg Inglis. He hasn't been right all day. And now he goes to ground, and he's really struggling as the trainer attends to him. And now South Sydney, with George Burgess back in the game, gets it just beyond halfway. Played to Luke Burgess. He then gets a pass here to Grevesmore, and he's chopped down 39 away. Inglis on his back now in back play. Comes to Keary on the following play. He tucks a kick in towards the corner. Brett Morris has got it easily and goes to ground immediately as Keary is first to meet him. As Inglis gets up slowly, he's going to go back to his mark, but he really is struggling there. He's got a horrible limp on him. And Canterbury now struggling to get out of their own territory. As Mbai on tackle 3 is barreled, only 15 out from his own line. So South's really rushing up as Glenn Stewart keeps yelling at his players to rush up at Canterbury. As now Curtis Rona goes one out. And like a front row forward, he just powers upfield and makes a good 15 metres. Plays it now here for Lisha. Lisha to Clemmer. He gets through the Luke tackle, gets through the Gresnell tackle, gets to halfway where he's finally brought down. Last is called. As now it comes across to Hodkinson, and he's going to kick away from Inglis. That's interesting. He's going to find Joel Reddy here, who's going to take it 10 from his own line. He bends down, picks it up. Now he's got 4 defenders in front of him, and he just takes his medicine, takes the tackle, but manages to get an offload though into the hands of Inglis. Lumbers his way upfield, and he's brought down, and he can't get up.
He's not good.
He can't get up. Now he plays it as again he stretches out that right leg. Now he's South Sydney centre and Millard not going too far on play number 3, and they're 15 short of halfway. I wonder if South have to consider the long-term game here and just get him off the field. As now it comes to Keary. Keary fires a pass to his left. Goodwin tries to poke his head through, but there are defenders all over him, and he'll be taken 5 metres in from touch, 40 metres out. All played to Keary. Throws it open right to Luke at first receiver. Keeps it going to Reynolds. He shows it inside. Now he goes outside as he runs across field. Then he passes to Glenn Stewart. He straightens. He's through. Stewart's away. Comes to the line. Passes to George Burgess, who drops it. It was no certainty Burgess was going to score, but again, Glenn Stewart is the shining light for this South Sydney side.
And gee, we've got Josh Morris down here, and I'll tell you what, he got to George Burgess just as he was about to catch the ball. And no, it's actually Brett Morris.
Okay.
And George Burgess, if you watch the Coatside replay, he actually runs straight over the top of Brett Morris instead of catching the ball, and he's left Brett Morris down. Let's have a closer look at that. Boom. Straight over the top without the ball. That's okay.
That's okay.
Nothing illegal except for the fact you've got
115 kilos
of muscle running straight over the top of you. So we've got that situation. We've also got Greg Inglis, who continues to be worked on in the backfield for South, and he's really struggled in the last 6 or 7 minutes. Canterbury 10-0, by the way, 2 minutes 41 to go. First half, Mitsubishi Triton.
Mate, and they've both been pretty good in the completion rates too. 81% for the Bunnies and 76 by the Bulldogs. So pretty good standard of football in these wet conditions, boys.
Those stats for Kumo Tyres.
You talk about Glenn Stewart and what he brings to this South Sydney side. He's always been involved in a pack that hasn't had a lot of size. That Manly pack that he had so much success with, they won on aggression and line speed, and he's trying to tell as we got Cassiano comes up with an error.
He's put it down, and now South come in from all parts of the field to tap Thomas Burgess on the back for his role in that tackle. And now a little momentum change. A South scrum feed, 21 metres out. What a chance to go into the sheds with a try and a chance to have the Bulldogs within touching distance.
I was going to say, boys, they should be at least 20-0 up. I think the Bulldogs with the possession they had in the field position, but the Bunnies, they haven't made the Bulldogs haven't made them pay.
South here about to feed the scrum. Souths have been down at half-time once this year and they won. Here it now comes to the centre in Millard. He runs upfield, brought down 15 away. Centre field, played the Luke. Luke goes right to George Burgess, who takes it, gets up to the 10, a little bit beyond as he's taken by Williams and Cassiano. 3 big units coming together. Played to Luke, goes himself from dummy half, sees the line, he reaches out, I think he gets there. He's been hurt in the tackle. He's been KO'd as he tried to put it down.
Big concerns about contact here.
Okay,
so we just heard the ref. If he's got big concerns about contact, we could have a possible 8-pointer.
Take him away, Greg. Got big concerns about the contact on Isaac Luke. Have no try, but I want to look at contact.
Okay, so Luke has got blood pouring from the bottom of his right ear. It's going right down his jaw. He looks like a punch-drunk boxer. So, Bill, the initial call is no try, so he doesn't believe Luke has got it down, but he's indicating he thinks there's a penalty in this for South.
Yeah, and if that's the case, then he was also probably looking at a possible penalty try. So we've just seen the Coates Eye replay now. He ducks out of dummy half. He comes over. He's still fighting to get over, and it's a knee.
Oh, it's foot.
Yeah, someone tried to kick.
He did.
Is that Brett Morris? We're looking here at a It's Josh Morris.
Josh
has stuck his leg out to try and force the ball free.
And Sam Cassiano has fallen on top of his whole body weight has come down on the head of Isaac Luke.
Now, the Spriggs has got him too, across the top of the head.
Now, if this was soccer, you'd say that's a studs-up challenge, which is a straight red card in that game. So, are you saying penalty try, Bill?
Yes, I am.
Well, so does he score this try, or is he still got the ball possession there, Bill?
Still got it, and he's just about to put it on the ground when he gets kicked in the head.
That's true.
And
I think he gets it down anyway.
It's still possible try anyway.
So we are thinking 4 points to South Sydney.
And the reason they have to get this right, because if he's grounded that ball properly, it'll be an 8-point. If he hasn't, it'll be a penalty try for a 6.
Even though the offence came before he grounded it, that is still 8 points in your mind? Okay.
Yeah.
Bill, thanks to Bryden's lawyers protecting your future. It looks like South are about to get on the board.
Yes.
I'm going 8 point. I would go an 8-point try on this. I think he got it down.
Straight up the tunnel, Luke goes, and he's in Disneyland. He's about to be attended to.
Gav.
Let's listen.
If you can walk. Greg, come with us. Greg?
It's a try. It's a try, but will there be more? And how much trouble is Josh Morris in?
Yeah. It's Brett Morris, correct? James?
Let's listen.
Josh.
It was Josh. They've got to get the right Morris here.
Before you even start, look at the speed we're playing this game at. How's he supposed to pull out of that? He can't pull out.
What he can't do is...
I know going with his knees, but I don't think he did, sir. Look how quick the game is, mate.
James.
He's not going like that.
All right, mate, you've had your opinion. Now we'll listen to what's going to happen. The foot contacts him in the head. It's on report, and it'll be a possible 8-point try. Absolutely.
Well, you heard it first from Billy. He predicted it. It's an easy kick at goal for the conversion. And the 8-point try, the second conversion will be from in front. So it is about to be 10 points to 8 as James Graham continues. I love James Graham.
Oh, it's great, isn't it? And well done there to who's refereeing out there? Is it Jared Sutton?
Jerry Sutton and Gav Morris.
He did really well there, Billy. He listened. Yeah, obviously, there was a lot of emotion involved there from the Bulldog players. He let him have his say as a captain, and then he told him how it was. And I think he should get a lot of credit for the way he handled that situation, because it could have got pretty volatile there. But a great fight back there from South Sydney. As you said, Dan, they lifted that tempo about 10 or 15 minutes ago, got themselves back in the contest. That was really their first attacking option. Sam Cassiano made a mistake coming out of trouble, and South just put on a nice play, and it was always going to be Isaac Luke, Greg Inglis. Someone needed to get him on the board.
But remember, Isaac Luke is out of the game at the moment, and they don't have a backup dummy half, so this is going to change things for them if he doesn't come back. Here's Reynolds, 91% Kaspersky, starts it right. Not a great kick, but he sneaks it inside the left upright, so that makes it 10-6, and he'll have the second shot at goal from in front. Brent Reid, you got some news, an injury, a Lockwood injury report for Lockwood on Tim Laffey.
Yeah, just not that on Laffey, Dan. It is his left knee, as you guys suspected, and he's gone for the day.
Okay, so...
Sad. 50th game.
And James Graham continues his protesting here. Now, he has walked out from the try line, where the Canterbury huddle is, walked up to the 10-metre line and just given the ref an absolute bake, Billy.
Yeah, he has, and as if he was in defiance of the extra penalty in front of the sticks for the kick, which he's just about to take now. He's got to be careful too. He can't cross the line.
So here comes Reynolds. Hasn't this game turned? It was all Canterbury. As the clock continues to tick, Reynolds nails the kick. As the Canterbury players, Bill, what did you notice here as Reynolds lined up the kick?
Well, the Canterbury players walked out and we're within about 3 metres of where he kicked. I'll tell you what, if he had missed it or hit the post, I'll be turning around saying, take that again. Now get your backsides behind the goal line.
Well, what a half, full of drama. The grand final rematch has not disappointed. Injuries, reports, a dominant first half. But a South Sydney side that's very much in this game. It is 10 points to 8. Canterbury over South on the Mitsubishi Triton scoreboard, as now James Graham takes up his protesting with Jim Dimmick,
well,
the
Jimmy
assistant coach for the
came
Bulldogs.
down obviously under instruction from Dares and has said to James Graham, go and say this to the ref, go and say that. They had a good conversation, and then you'll find James Graham will go over now and tell the refs what Des Hasler thinks.
You can hear the crowd in the background booing them, but I've got to say, they got it 100% correct.
I agree with you, Bill.
I'm with you, Bill.
It is a primarily Canterbury crowd. That's why the boos, but it's the Bulldogs in front. But boy, it should have been by a lot more. 10 points to 8. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back and wrap up that first half for your local club. This is Triple M NRL for Harvey Norman.
The Grill Team.
G'day, Will and Anderson here.
Yes, and we'll want to talk to you now about Grant Hackett, mate.
Front page of the Herald, it's unusual. Just because someone's a swimmer, do they really have to stand there and leave nothing to the imagination as far as the old fella and the tackle's concerned?
But in showbiz, if you have to do a nude scene or perhaps you're going to be in like a small pair of bathers, they call it the Hollywood loaf.
Saying that, on the back page of the Telegraph, it's George Burgess. So.
Right. I think that's the baker's dozen, isn't it?
That's The Grill Team. Triple M Breakfast.
You are the property of Wentworth. This is my prison.
You don't run this prison. I do. Wentworth has a new queen. You said you'd get rid of my competitors.
And I have.
Except for Queen Bee. Foxtel's award-winning Australian drama returns.
You step out of line, there will be consequences.
I've just been given life without parole, Governor. What more can you do to me? Wentworth Season 3 starts Tuesday, April 7 at 8:30 on Soho. Only on Foxtel.
G'day, Gary Lyon. During the winter, I'm pretty busy with footy, and in the past, I've let the garden get a little bit out of control. Not anymore. Now I've got an Ego 56-volt cordless mower, blower, chainsaw, hedge trimmer, and line trimmer. I'm keen to get out there, and getting the yard looking like the Botanical Gardens takes no time at all. Ego outdoor power equipment is quick to charge and delivers all the power you need to get the job done right. With this much power, it's hard not to have an Ego.
Ego. Power beyond belief.
Get them from Masters.
Don't miss out on cracking Easter deals at IGA Liquor. Right now, head into your local IGA Liquor for amazing deals like this. Grab 2 Carlton Dry 24-packs or 4X Gold Can Block 30-packs for only $78. That's Carlton Dry 24-packs or 4X Gold Can Block 30-packs, 2 for a low $78. See the IGA Liquor Easter catalogue out now for more great specials. Offers valid until Tuesday, April 7. Remember to always drink responsibly.
Mitsubishi dealers have a run-out deal you'll be running in for. Pick up a value pack Triton GLX Plus 4x4 double cab turbo diesel today and only $29,990 drive away, stacked with features like stability control, 6 airbags, Dan, air conditioning, alloy wheels, side steps, Bluetooth, 3-ton towing and 5-year warranty.
Wow. See your local Mitsubishi dealer today. While stocks last, it's for a manual that excludes government rental and national fleet buyers.
Celebrate this Easter with great savings at Rebel. Save a massive 20% off all men's and women's Asics footwear, excludes football boots. And get 30% off all New Balance, Reebok and Running Bear clothing. Many more great offers in-store and online, only at Rebel.
7 News. First with what we need to know. First with every picture we need to see.
7 News has always been the heart of Sydney.
Make the switch to 7 News with Mark Ferguson.
Join me live at 6.
Shut up! The footy's on the radio! Dissecting the action while the players cop a spray in the sheds. This is Triple M NRL halftime for your local club, your community, your local club.
Never miss a minute of the action. Listen anywhere through the Triple M NRL app.
The footy's never sounded better. Triple M NRL.
Half-time here at ANZ Stadium. It is 10 points to 8, Canterbury over South. What drama we had at the end of the first half. And a tweet has come in here, and we do tweets for Ream Hot Water Heaters, as we do Triple M NRL with Ryan Girdler, Wendell Saylor, Bill Harrigan, and Dan Gannay and Brent Reid as well. Guildford Minor says, it's official, no player will be ever sent off again. And she sent a photo, or he sent a photo, of Josh Morris's attempted kick on Isaac Luke, which is connected with his head and resulted in an 8-point try. Billy, should it have been a send-off?
It is a fair comment, and had he have sent him off, I still would have supported that 100% as well. If he had have sent him off too, then the referees and that are come under criticism because they'll be saying that they ruined the grand final replay because it was now 13 on 12. So they're never in a win situation. But simply, had you sent him off, it still would have been the correct decision.
Billy, can you send a guy off for an unintentional act? Because obviously he's gone there to kick the ball out. Even though he got it wrong, we understand that. Doesn't there need to be more intent for a send-off?
No, not really, because you can have a player...
to kick him.
A player could put his leg
he
out
didn't try and kick him, Dan. He tried to dislodge the ball.
Yeah. You can't throw your boot out studs up in someone's
head. You'd be surprised, as James Graham said on the field, it happens that fast. You throw anything out when they're going to score a try, but it's reflex.
But let's be honest, we don't have send-offs anymore anyway, so you can't make an example of that one.
No, but if you do it, then you've just got to suffer the repercussions. And the repercussions are, I have no doubt the match committee will charge him, and he'll cop a couple of weeks for that.
Yeah, but you know what?
Couple of weeks.
What if Isaac Luke is out of this game
Yeah.
Right? That is a massive blow for South, and Canterbury will get punished, but they won't get punished in this game.
Correct, and that's why you also have to think about the victim in all this. Yeah, it was fast reflexes, the game's fast, all that sort of thing. But on the other side, South Sydney are now without their playmaker. So they're done it.
So do you take that into consideration, Billy, is what I'm asking?
No, I'll tell you what, when I refereed, the way I did it...
if you see Isaac Luke out on the ground and then you've just seen the incident take place, do you then change the way that you handle the situation based on the result of the action?
You can, but initially, and I was about to say, when you see something like that, it's normally a gut instinct straight away that you just go, bang, that's off.
Lockwood injury update. Brent Reid, you got news on Isaac Luke?
Isaac Luke's just a cut to the back of his head. There's no concussion test necessary, so he'll be back in the second half. And Greg Inglis, he's hyperextended his right knee. It's the same knee injured a couple of years ago, but he should be right to keep going.
Yeah, that's the one there. So, sorry, Dan.
What we might do, gentlemen, we want to get a break out of the way. We have to do a sports update. We'll do that after the break. And if we've got highlights ready to go, we will go to a break here. And we will come back with Canterbury leading 10 points to 8 over South Sydney. This is Triple M NRL. That was half-time for your local club, your community, your local club. More after this.
For 35 years, Triple M's been bringing you the world's best new rock. We were there when AC/DC came back in black, when hard rock ruled, and New Jersey was churning them out. We were there for the birth of grunge and its evolution. And as rock continues to grow and change, we'll bring you the world's best. It's not our job, it's our privilege. 104.9 Triple M.
7 News. First with what we need to know. First with every picture we need to see.
7 News has always been the heart of Sydney.
Make the switch to 7 News with Mark Ferguson.
Join me live at 6.
It'll be a great footy Good Friday at ANZ Stadium. Yep, 4 p.m. today, it's Bulldogs v Rabbitohs in a replay of last year's grand final. See Graham and Williams take on the might of Burgess and Grant as last year's runners-up try to turn the tables on the premiers. Sydney Public Transport is included in all pre-purchase tickets and club membership. It's great family value for these school holidays, so buy today at nrl.com/tickets. We'll see you there.
You're a doer. You don't wait around for someone else to get the job done. You do it yourself, and you do it properly. So Easter long weekend, here's to getting some jobs done around your place. Here's to filling those cracks in the wall. Selly's Spack Filler. It fills any cracks or holes in 3 quick and easy steps. Just apply, wait and sand. Job done. A professional job without having to bring in a professional. Selly's Spack Filler Rapid. The easiest way to repair your wall. Because if it's Selly's, it works.
Life is full of surprises, some great and some, of course, are really challenging. When those challenges arise, it is who is beside you that determines how well you overcome them. Gerds nodding his head in agreement.
So true.
That is why more people trust Bryden's lawyers. Bryden's mix of tenacity and compassion has made them successful in all areas of law for 40 years plus. They're the specialists in everything from family law to property conveyancing and more. So whatever your challenge, speak to the people who listen, who act, and who understand. Call Bryden's 1-800-848-848, brydens.com.au.
It's Harvey Normas. Get ready to save this Easter at Harvey Norman. We're offering a massive 60 months interest-free store-wide. 0 interest, no deposit with monthly payments until April 2020. Approved applicants only. Minimum finance amount $1,500. Interest applies if you do not comply with terms and conditions. Fees and exclusions apply. See website for details. Big on range, big on brands, even bigger on savings. It's Harvey Normas. For extra deals and Easter trading hours, search Harvey Norman online. 60 months interest-free store-wide this Easter at Harvey Norman.
7 News. First with what we need to know. First with every picture we need to see.
7 News has always been the heart of Sydney.
Make the switch to 7 News with Mark Ferguson.
Join me live at 6.
Shut up! The footy's on the radio! Here's the second 40.
Never miss a minute of the action. Listen anywhere through the Triple M NRL app.
The footy's never sounded better. Triple M NRL.
Not too far from kick-off in the second half. Triple M NRL for Harvey Norman. It's Canterbury 10, South 8. If you're listening through Queensland, you will get Gold Coast versus Brisbane live on the Triple M NRL network. That's coming up tonight, 8:30 New South Wales, 7:30 Queensland time. Right now, let's get a sports update with Jeff Tyler.
Thanks, fellas. First recapping halftime action between Souths and the Bulldogs at a wet ANZ Stadium. The Rabbits 8, Canterbury 10 before the start of play. Triple M NRL caught up with Bunnies coach Michael Maguire.
It's really about the now and everything that we can control as the team that we've got, and I'm really looking forward to this game, but so are the players. You know, we obviously weren't satisfied with how we went about things last Friday, and each week you get to rectify those things and really produce the footy that you want.
Tonight, the derby on the Gold Coast, Brisbane versus the Titans. Justin Hodges and Adam Blair out for the Broncos. Off-field Manly's George Tafu and Bulldogs' Jacob Loco have been fined over a fight outside a city bar last month. Police this morning confirmed the pair have both been issued infringement notices. OK, coming up, second half action between Souths and the Doggies. But for now, here are the highlights of the first half.
We're underway. South Sydney kick us off. Canterbury with Graham throwing it to Mbai. He throws a loose pass, bounces into the hands of Rona. He's got space, reaches out and scores! Last tackle. Lisha goes right to Hodgkinson. Quick pass to Jackson. Trouble. Jackson throws it, bounces into the hands of Parrott. Parrott dives to the line and scores! Play to Luke. Goes himself from dummy half. Sees the line. He reaches out. I think he gets there. He's been hurt in the tackle. He's been KO'd. So Luke has got blood pouring from the bottom of his right ear. Josh Morris has stuck his leg out to try and force the ball free.
And Sam Cassiano's, his whole body weight has come down on the head of Isaac Luke.
It's on report, and it'll be a possible 8-point try. Absolutely.
Well, what a half. Full of drama. The grand final rematch has not disappointed. 10 points to 8. Canterbury over South. Thank you, Jeff Tyler. And those highlights just setting things up nicely for this second half. That incident happening only just moments before half-time. Now, Bill, can you confirm this? If Isaac Luke failed to get the ball down, it would have been a penalty try, but would it have been an 8-point try?
No. In my eyes, had he have not got it down, had he have lost it in that last second, I still would have given him a penalty try, because you can't give him an 8-point try then because he hasn't grounded the ball. You can only give an 8-pointer when he actually scores the try. The video referee would have said, OK, in all likelihood, would he have scored that try, yes or no? If he thought not, and there was still a bit of doubt over it, then he would have just given a penalty, and the player probably would have been still placed on report or put in the bin or sent off, one or the other. But had he just dropped it, it definitely, to me, would have been a penalty try. But he did ground the ball. We all saw that. So, correct decision in giving an 8-pointer.
All right. So there we go, gents. Wendell Saylor, Ryan Girdler, Dan Ganane, Billy Harrigan, Brent Reid on the sideline as the rain... It's spitting here at ANZ Stadium, not as heavy as it was a few moments ago.
Boys, I don't like to give yourself a rap, but what's funny is we're talking about first try scorer. Remember when I brought up Curtis Rona, how on fire he's been? Well, someone obviously backed him, so he's having a good Easter.
Oh, based on your advice?
Yeah, on that tip. So
okay.
That's what our job is, and I could score tries. That was my job.
We spoke about South Sydney and that comeback late in the first half. Statistically, the Bulldogs love the second half, boys. 67 points they've scored in all second halves this year, as opposed to 24 in the first half. So they go up another gear. Means they're fit. Means if South's going to do it, it's going to be against the odds.
All right, the team's about to come back out. Let's go to you, Brent Reid.
Got Dylan Walker there. Dylan, what did you make of the first half?
Yeah, it was a bit scrappy. We we'll get into it. We weren't completing our sets. We were kicking early and making a lot of errors. So hopefully the boys can fix it up this half.
It's a nice finish, though. Obviously, get it within 2 points, given how poorly you played in the first half.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's good to get that try just before half time. So I think the boys are just on a bit of up right now. So the boys are just going to go out there and just really dig in.
What's the latest with you?
Excuse me?
What's the latest with you?
Just still with broken hand. Just waiting for it to heal. So it's a time in progress. It'll take about 3 to 4 more weeks.
Thanks, Dylan.
Cheers, mate.
Well done, Brent Reid. And even though we've sort of flipped the schedule today with this Good Friday afternoon game, Reedy's Mail will still make its appearance in the 6 o'clock hour New South Wales time. Here come the Bulldogs. Gentlemen, after seeing the first 40 minutes, who do you think is going to win this game? Girds?
Oh, look, I'm going to stay with South Sydney. As I said, statistically they've got it all to do, and they've only had about 40% possession, so it's going to be tough for them, but I just think they're going to find a way.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with the Dogs. I think,
they can't change at half-time anyway.
Exactly. No, but it's a good question. But
if it was 30-0, of course you can change at half-time.
Yes,
I'm changing at half-time because I've looked at the radar and there's no rain in the second half, so I'm back to the Rabbitohs.
Oh, yeah. That's what blokes do. Mate, that's...
Well, the stats were that Canterbury winning the wet. It's no longer rain in the second half.
It's still a greasy
It's
track,
still a wet
Bill.
track.
Yeah, but I've had a look. There's no rain coming down. There's no rain falling.
Okay,
I'm just trying to look for Isaac Luke.
Thank you, Tim
Is that
Bailey.
him over? I can't. So he hasn't come back out. I can't see him out there at the moment.
No.
Jason Clark will probably go to hooker.
So we wait and see how long Luke spends out of the game. Reedy told us he didn't require a concussion test.
That's right.
One of the Burgess boys hits it up on the first. That's Thomas, and that's a good run to start South Sydney off. They're running to the southern end. There's now Ben Lowe. Didn't play at all in the first half. He hits it upfield and he's captured 20 short of halfway. Ball played to Keary. He gives it to George Burgess. Oh, he's hit hard by Cassiano and Elisha. And George, as he's driven back, manages to pop it past to Lowe, who can't go too far. And he plays it 15 short of halfway. Now, here's Inglis going one out down the middle of the field. That's a good sign. And he carries James Graham with him up to halfway. Bit of feeling in these tackles at the moment. Now it goes to Glenn Stewart running down the left edge. Defence sits back and waits and eventually gets him 40 metres out. Last tackle. Here comes another torpedo. Adam Reynolds bomb. Under it is Brett Morris. He takes it easily. That was just a little too deep from Reynolds as Brett Morris gets away from one, away from another. Oh, Ben Lowe makes a tackle that had to be made. If he didn't quite finish it off, Brett Morris was going straight down the middle of the field. So play the ball here. That's why the crowd is booing. Played to Sam Perrott, who gives it to David Clemmer. And he's wrapped up on tackle 2 as he's driven sideways. Canterbury 10, South 8. Half-time score on the Mitsubishi Triton scoreboard. Ball played to Elisha, gives it to Cassiano. A bit flat-footed there. He can't make too many metres as 3 of them are there to meet him in the centre of the field. On the 30, he plays it to Elisha. Runs out of dummy half, then passes to Graham. He thought about the chance he passed. He decided to take the tackle from Glenn Stewart, who's been immense for the Bunnies. Ball played to Elisha. He goes left to Cassiano. Stands on the tackle. Then he shovels it into the hands of Josh Morris, who did remarkably well to hang on to it. That was bulleted into his lap. Doesn't go too far, though. 39 metres away, left side, when the last is signalled. Elisha throws to the middle, where it comes to Josh Reynolds, and he stab kicks down the centre of the field. And it's taken comfortably here by Alex Johnston, 10 from his own line. Bends down, picks it up, runs down the left where Mbai, who's playing out wide now, cleans him up. 10 points to 8, Canterbury over South, as now Bryson Goodwin goes for a little run. Canterbury have reshuffled. They've got Mbai out wide with Tim Laffey out of the game. Here's Chris McQueen in the jersey number 12, running down the left edge where Mbai is there to close him down, along with Reynolds. Now on the following play, goes to Stewart. Stewart keeps it going to Reynolds. He turns it infield to Thomas Burgess. Energises his way up to the halfway line, but then is brought down as it comes to Luke Keary, who pops a pass here to Glenn Stewart, makes some good metres, but eventually is closed down. So Keary again, dummy half on the last to Reynolds, under a little bit of pressure. Now he runs, little chip and chase, doesn't get the bounce, taken by Hodkinson, and now Hodkinson is brought down. Interesting play, Gerds, because Reynolds was always going to get caught up in traffic there, but he still went for the all-or-nothing play anyway.
Yeah, he sure did. A couple of the big Bulldogs forwards, it was Cassiano, and I think Jackson came through and put some pressure on him. He bounced off the right foot, went back into traffic. Unfortunately, the little chip didn't come off, and the Bulldogs get away from their 40-metre line now on their third play.
Yeah, Sam Perrott running out of dummy half, and will be eventually brought down. 10-8 Canterbury. Here's Brett Morris running out of dummy half. And makes a good 12-13 metres before the ball brothers Stewart and Lowe bring him down. Quick play the ball, comes to Graham. Graham goes left to Hodkinson, keeps it going to Tony Williams. Then he draws them in, gives it to Josh Morris. He comes here at Millard, holds on to him as he gets an offload away, comes to Hodkinson. Hodkinson turns it to his right to Clemmer. Clemmer looks for where Keary is, finds him, runs straight at him, but Keary's up to it and gets some help. Last tackle, 10 away, right side, Elisha goes to skinny right to Josh Reynolds. Floats a pass, dropped. Sam Perrott can't hang on to it. I don't know if he would have got there anyway because the defence was sliding across, but an audacious ball from Josh Reynolds. They've tried that a lot on the fifth play, and it hasn't really come off for them, and that's South Sydney ball.
Look, you know what? I think he would have got there, boys. The pass was just a little bit high and behind. If he didn't have to jump up and reach up for that one and just break all his momentum there, Sam Perrott, I think if that hits him on the chest, he's got time to settle down and get the ball in the corner, Del.
Because even if Goodwin's there, he probably beats him back on the inside.
Here come the Bunnies, not going too far. No, it's interesting. I see Frank Pritchard on the sideline. He hasn't come into the game yet. Here's Grevesmore. Picked up and dumped. I don't think he's been in the game, Gerds. Now Keary pops a pass.
I think you're right, Dan.
To Ben Lowe. 10 metres short of halfway where Lowe plays it to Keary, who now is playing dummy half regularly without Isaac Luke in this game. And he looks right, goes left to Thomas Burgess, and he's met by the defence on halfway. Last tackle, Reynolds takes off, thought about running, and then he kicks long. And that's going to plug in the in goal. It's a lovely kick. Brett Morris letting it roll, and it just gets over the dead ball line. And that'll be a 20-metre tap and a 7-tackle set. And
he's got to get James cleaned up.
James Graham has got some blood, it would appear. So he's been ordered not off the field, but ordered behind the play so the trainer can deal with him. And the ball is about to be tapped here by Lisha. He gives it to David Clemmer, and he's brought down on tackle 1. No change to the half-time score. Canterbury 10, South 8 on the Mitsubishi Triton scoreboard. As Sam Perrott, he's done this a bit, running out of dummy half. He's met by Lowe, and also George Burgess. Ball played to Lisha. Goes right to Josh Jackson, who bustles Keary out of the way. But Keary had some help in the form of Glenn Stewart. That's the bodyguard now for Keary. As here's a little run from Lisha, running it just beyond dummy half, but he's taken by Keary at marker. Played to Wemby. He gives it to James Graham. That didn't take long to patch up. He's then taken in the tackle. And he's again ordered off. Well, they didn't get him off the first time. And this will be a play the ball 38 metres out.
That's no good. We stopped it once.
Bren Reid, we've got some breaking news.
Stayed on Isaac Luke, Dan. He has had a concussion test. He is gone for the game.
Oh, wow. Talk about it.
Big news, Isaac Luke out, and James Graham has got a deep cut above his right eye. Billy, they needed the referees to say he's got to go.
Yeah, this is the second time, so he's supposed to leave the field. He can't stay there. So they've taken him out the back and just wiping him down. He has to go off the field and get it fixed up on the sideline because it's the second cut.
Well, time has paused here. Late in the tackle count, 4 gone, 10-8 Canterbury.
Now, we talk about, back to the Isaac Luke, mate, the Bunnies now pay a price for it. We talk about an 18th man. This is why you need an 18th man in the game.
Because of Canterbury's crime, Isaac Luke, one of their most influential players, is out.
They pay the price.
And Josh Morris will miss weeks. But that doesn't help South. All right, here we go. The ball is played by Clemmer to Lisha, crabbing out a dummy half. Then he gets a pass to Clemmer, who runs straight over the top of Keary. He comes to Stewart. Stewart just hangs on, but he needed help in the form of Goodwin. Last tackle, 10 away, right side. Play to Wemby. Throws it left to Josh Reynolds. He kicks it, ricochets off a bunny. Picked up by a South Sydney player. And yet again, the last tackle letting Canterbury down as Chris Gresnell gets up to play it, and now they just run it out on play 2.
I'll tell you what, we all love the way Josh Reynolds plays, but ever since Moses Mbai has been moved out wide, the back end of their sets hasn't been as good. He's a really calm player and a great kick of the football Mbai, but as soon as he's been replaced by Reynolds in there, they've just been hurrying the end of their sets and not been coming up with the same results.
All right, so here come the Bunnies with Ben Lowe getting up and playing it. Thomas Burgess now hits it up on the next play. That's 4 gone here for South. 10-8 they trail. Keary runs out of dummy half. There's no marker, so he gives it to Stewart, who goes inside to Greg Inglis, but they were ready for that. The Dogs who were through in the tackle, and they've forced the ball free. In fact, no, it was a last tackle. It's a changeover as James Graham now goes straight up the tunnel. So he's going to need stitching, it would appear, because the bandaging didn't work. And yet again, a team runs it on the last and it doesn't come off. So Canterbury now 5 short of halfway. They lead 10 points to 8.
That was crazy play there by South Sydney on the halfway line, just trying to get some authority back in this game. Really needed to put one in the corner. And I tell you what, Laurie Daly, the New South Wales selectors, will be watching these games to see how under pressure these guys go and the decisions they made, and the last couple have been pretty poor.
So the Bulldogs now have advanced it to within 39 metres of the line, and they get a penalty here. They wouldn't get off David Clemmer. Chris McQueen is the man in the wrong, and now it's quickly tapped ahead here by Lisha, and they weren't awake to that, and Lisha makes 20 metres. And he'll be eventually made to play it. 18 out, play to Josh Reynolds. He runs out of dummy half, and they sit back and wait, and he gets over the 10, and finally he's closed down. Left upright, the Bulldogs looking for their third try. And it's about to be played now to Lisha. He goes right to Clemmer. Clemmer tries to do it all on his own, and he gets to within half a metre. 3 tackles gone, right upright. Canterbury here on the attack. Lisha goes left to Tony Williams, who tries to get to the line, and now he's driven back. For a moment, it looked like he was going to get there. It's all one-out stuff. Bash and Barge played to Lisha. He throws it right to Hodkinson. Cuts out one as he finds Josh Reynolds. Tucks a kick into the end goal. Batted away by Alex Johnston for a lone dropout. So finally, the Dogs get it right with the kick. but they don't get the result they were after. They'll get 6 more tackles nonetheless. 10 points to 8. 31 to go, Mitsubishi Triton.
Yeah, it was a nice little kick there by Reynolds. Looking for him by out there. Well done by Alex Johnston, and was able to get back and shovel it over the dead ball line. You just feel like the Bulldogs need to put a couple of sets together, and on the back of some pretty poor last tackle options by South Sydney, they look like they're going to come away with points.
Okay, as Brent Reid said, Lockwood injury report, Isaac Luke out of the game, failing a concussion test. Now, this is a high line dropout that clean bowls Josh Reynolds, and eventually is picked up by Hodkinson, who just shovels it to Cassiano, but not even the big giant can make much of an impression. He then plays it to no dummy half, so the big T-Rex has to come in like he's on a slip and slide, picks up the ball, and then he's dropped down 29 out. Ball play to Elisha, who throws it right to Josh Morris. Morris runs at the line, then he gets a pass to Reynolds, who tried to shovel it along, but he was cleaned up ball and all by Goodwin. 3 gone. Ball played to Elisha, comes back to the left with a pass to Tolman, who rumbles upfield. He's had a long stint out of the game, Tolman, and he was put down 15 out in the middle of this ANZ stadium. Played to Elisha, goes left to Hodkinson, dummies inside, keeps going, then he does pass inside to Josh Morris, and he goes nowhere as Grevsmill is there along with one other. And Adam Reynolds, last call. They throw it to the open right. It comes to Elisha. He tries to tuck a kick in, but it dribbles off his boot, and Glenn Stewart is there to fall on the ball. 5 out from his own line, and Canterbury just cannot put these South Sydney Rabbitohs away. 10 points to 8, 30 minutes to go as we see Jason Clark re-enter the game.
Yeah, well, that was a really poor set there by the Bulldogs. We saw basically the dropout, as you said, clean bowled Josh Reynolds, and then the ensuing play of the ball, as we see South Sydney come up with an error.
Lost ball, a pass was forced, and Canterbury have got it now 30 metres out. Well, they have to take advantage sooner rather than later, surely. And now comes here to James Graham. He hits it up. In fact, that's Tolman, 20 metres out. Right side of the field, played to Elisha, gives it to Clemmer. He takes off, runs straight at Tyrrell and carries him for a couple of metres before the tackle is finished off. 10 away centre field. Played to Elisha, goes back to the right. Away to Reynolds, running. Picked up and dumped by Chris McQueen, who got him in the ribs. Ball now played here to Elisha, comes back to the left to Clemmer. Flat-footed, he dummied, no one fell for it. They carried defenders with him, but was easily contained. 6 metres out, that's 4 gone. Right upright, played to Elisha. Bullets a pass left to Hodkinson, keeps it going to Cassiano. Inside ball to Brett Morris, taken by the defence, but he gets an offload to Tony Williams. Tony Williams then gets a ball now to Hodkinson, who dummies and crabs at the line, but is easily put down. South's handling this easily. Here's Elisha on the last to Josh Reynolds. He kicks, ricochets, Josh Morris comes up with it, gets over and scores. This will need inspection, but it appears Josh Morris
just
will
make
give
sure
Canterbury
that rebound
a 6-point lead.
that there's nothing off the Dogs.
Yeah, this one looks like, to me, live a try. The ball is grubber kicked through, comes off a South Sydney player back into the hands of the Dogs, and in they go. So we're just waiting on the coach eye replay to confirm it for the video referee, but that's what he's looking for. Does the ball come off the South Sydney player, not touch a Dogs player and knock on? So we're seeing the grubber kick now. So there's our kick.
Josh Morris certainly onside.
I'm going to have a look at the other 2 players, Clemmer and one other, because they're in an offside position. Do they remain passive? Yeah, they haven't moved. They're okay.
It looks like it's come
Now,
off the hand of
back to
McQueen.
Morris again.
And Morris has juggled, and as long as he gets it down, this appears to be a try next to the uprights. So here's another coach eye replay, Billy.
Yep, just touched then. And he's got the ball. So Morris juggles the ball, not touched by any South Sydney player, so it's all clean. And he'll put the ball down here, bang into the ground, try.
Well, the man who knocked Isaac Luke out of the game is about to put the Dogs 6 points clear with an easy kick to come. And boy, wasn't he happy, Josh Morris. He went straight to the emblem and kissed it to the crowd. With a big Bulldog contingent there in the northeastern corner of this ANZ stadium. We keep looking at replays, but nothing suggests this won't be a try. Here we go. The decision is a try. It is 14 points to 8. The Bulldogs fans rise here at ANZ Stadium.
Yeah, well, it was unorthodox and it was a little bit ugly, but they got the result. They've been after the Bulldogs. Another flat set of 6, and they got to the last play, and it was basically just, we saw Hodkinson got tackled with a ball on the 5th, and then so it had to go to Josh Reynolds. He saw good work from Josh Morris to come across from the left-hand side in support. He called it late. There was a little deft kick in there. Greg Inglis was there to cover, but unfortunately for South Sydney, I think it came off Clark's arm, as Dan said. Bounced back into Josh Morris's arms, who scored now 2 tries in consecutive weeks. And, a real blow there for the Rabbitohs, who looked like they were handling everything that Canterbury threw at them there for a while.
Big kick. Should get it, Hodkinson. 1 from 2 today. 99% says Kaspersky, next to the right upright. To give the Bulldogs an 8-point lead. He moves in. Yep, no problem. So, we're back out to an 8-point margin for the Canterbury side. They lead 16-8. 27 and a half to go. Isaac Luke out of the game. We go down to you, Brent Reed, on the sideline.
I want to give her up to David Clemmer. He's come off the bench today, but no forwards run for more metres than David Clemmer in this game so far. And he's up against arguably the best pack of the comp, so he's been outstanding for them.
Okay, the announced crowd, 40,523.
Wow. Must be all up here above us.
Reedy, is there a big contingent of people above us?
There's a few up there, Dan. It goes right up to that top tier. It's probably half full, that top tier.
Can you count them for us, Reedy, please?
1, 2. Okay, this will be good. This will be good radio.
Well, if Reedy's saying they're up in that top tier, then maybe 40,000's accurate. So a good turnout on a shocking day. Here's Cassiano rumbling upfield, and he's put on his back for Canterbury, 25 short of that halfway line. As now, here's that man Reedy was talking about, Clemmer rumbling upfield, taking low with him along with George Burgess. And they're 15 short of halfway. And as Lisha goes into dummy half, he feeds it to Jackson, who must be a masochist. He went straight for the traffic there and he got barreled. 9 short of halfway. Played to Lisha. Gives it to Tolman, who hits it up to the halfway line. This has been good stuff from Canterbury. And getting out of territory, they've done well all game. At the last, Josh Reynolds, he kicks along the ground, and that's just going to be easy pickings for Inglis, 15 out from his own line. Let's see how he stretches out. Well, he doesn't have much room there, as defenders are there immediately. And he's brought down here 20 metres short of halfway. His influence has been very much nullified by a right knee injury, which he seems to have carried all game. Now, South's going nowhere here as Reddy is driven back in the second tackle. And now on the third, Ben Lowe is picked up and driven backwards. It is a Canterbury ambush against one of the biggest packs in the comp. Well played by that man who plays it to Keary. And Keary throws it across field to Tyrrell, and he doesn't go too far, so they're still short of halfways. Now it comes to Reynolds at first receiver. He throws it into the hands of McQueen, and he's easily taken here with the last signal. In that final play, Reynolds, conventional kick down the middle. It's bouncing and bobbling, and it's taken here by Brett Morris. Takes it on his own 10, and a good line of South Sydney defence meets him. But it's 16-8 the Bulldogs in the grand final rematch. Triple M NRL for Harvey Norman as Moses Mbai out in the centres for the injured Tim Laffey. Not going too far on play 2. Ball is now played to Perrott. He gets it to Rona, and he's not going far here, so South have decided to muscle up in this set because Canterbury aren't going too far. Ball played to Perrott, runs out of dummy half away from the would-be markers and makes some good metres. Glenn Stewart's down in back play, and he's face down here in this ANZ Stadium service as a trainer is up to him. Canterbury run it to halfway as the last is called. Sloppy play the ball. It's now into the hands of Reynolds, who kicks for the sideline. He's kicked it way out on the full. And they're going to have to stop play here, Bill, because Glenn Stewart could be in the firing line. He's 25 metres from the try line towards where South will be running. And he looks in all sorts here, boys, as he's now on his knees as he tries to stumble up. Well, we're looking at an overhead shot here. It might be concussion. Obviously, it's hard for us to tell from 120 metres away, but...
yeah, I didn't see the shot, Dan, so I didn't see the incident. Obviously, they were defending, so he's copped something in the tackle. They're moving him now to the sideline with the trainer. He looks okay, but I think he'll be going off.
Oh, yeah, he's not okay, mate. This will be a massive blow for the Bunnies. Obviously, Isaac Luke is not coming back, and now Glenn Stewart has been their best player.
Here we go. We see the Kotai replay. Oh, yeah. He just gets one of the Burgess boys. I think it's George's knee right in the forehead or the forehead. What do you call it, Dan? The forehead or the forehead? The forehead?
We're in Australia, Goods.
Yeah, so it's the forehead.
Okay.
Well, he copped one in the noggin.
Yeah. When we start calling games on Z100 New York, we'll call it the forehead.
The forehead.
We're about to sign a deal. Very exciting.
Oh, great. Can't wait for that.
Really?
I'll bring my accent.
So
I love New York.
As here's Glenn Stewart hitting it upfield. Not Glenn Stewart, he's off the field. It's the Bunnies working it upfield with Keary. Now on the following play, It's one of the Burgeye boys getting up to the 30-metre line. So South here with George playing it, Keary at dummy half. He gets a pass to Clark. He bumps away from one defender, but then is closed down. Centre field, 22 metres out. They're hanging around the bunnies. Keary dummy half. Goes left, throws it infield to Dave Tyrrell, who just hits it up and is claimed here left upright, 12 metres out. He'll play it now for Keary. He'll throw it right to Reynolds. Reynolds cuts out one as he finds Millard. Millard almost gets on the outside of Josh Morris, but Morris gets him by the bottom of the jumper and forces him into the ground. Last call, right side of the field. They come back to the middle. Here's Reynolds. A high kick chopping across field. It is juggled by Canterbury. Lost. Comes to South Sydney. McQueen's got it. It'll be 6 to go. It's now with Clark. It is 6 to go. Clark runs across field towards the middle. Taken by the arm by Clemmer. And then Clemmer goes in for another chop. That looked ugly. Then finally Clark is stopped 11 metres out. Right upright. Ball played to Keary. Keary to Tyrrell. Oh, just one out there and he's taken on the first legitimate tackle. Ball played to Keary. He goes left here to Grant. Grant to Inglis. Bullets a pass.
Great take.
Away there to Goodwin, who had to go down and take it. And by the time he did, he was easily contained by Perrin. They come back to the right now. Inglis first receiver. Away to George Burgess, who just stops and props at the line and is easily put down. And they're going sideways here, the Bunnies, 7 metres out. Played to Keary. Throws it right to Reynolds. Reynolds now to Alex Johnston in the middle. He keeps it going now to Millard, and Millard's easily contained. Then he throws a shocking pass into Josh Morris, who picks it up. Canterbury ball. And Morris comes away with it, and the Bulldogs survive. And South Sydney just threw that away. There's now a little run out of dummy half here for the Dogs on tackle too.
Yeah, well, that's what can happen when the outside backs feel like there's no direction. Here, there was just a nothing set there by South Sydney. Didn't look like they were setting up for anything. So on the third and fourth play, you give it to an outside back. He thinks he needs to do the work. And as you saw there, just a really poor pass by Millard and lets the Dogs off the hook, and they're out on their 40 after 3 plays.
Brent Reid, we'll come to you in a moment. Can you just check whether James Graham is back on the sideline? Here it comes to Josh Reynolds now running down the right side. Gets to halfway, and Billy's pointing him out to me, so yes. And he's going to be wearing jersey 22 because there must have been blood on his original jersey. Oh, he's on the bike. And now Mbai kicks with the left foot. He was taken heavily. Appeared to be legal, just heavy contact. And Souths have got it now, 20 out from their own line. Here's Johnston trying to use his pace to get around Brett Morris. He does. He's through another. Now he's in the clear. Comes towards halfway, but Hodkinson is there to hold his ground and brings him down on halfway.
Yeah, I think Greg Inglis has moved to 5'8". Johnson's gone back to fullback, and they're going to put GI in the front line to try and get some plays working here, boys.
Well, let's see what they can come up with. Here's Grevesmore now playing it, 40 metres out to Keary. Keary goes left to George Burgess. Bumps off one, bumps off another. Now over the 30 and almost up to the 20. That's more like George Burgess. And he'll play it here in front of the right upright to Keary. Throws it left to Inglis at first receiver. Short ball to Jason Clark. Stepping off the left. He then stands on the tackle, gets an offload here to Keary. Keary holds it up. He's 10 metres out, drifts to his right, then turns it infield to Lowe, who runs straight into the shoulder of Tolman. 4 tackles gone, 7 away. Comes to the left to Clark. Clark to Adam Reynolds. He kicks, ricochets into the hands of Tyrrell, and South will score.
That'll be a try.
Tyrrell gets a rare try. Just the 5th in his 114-game career, and South will not go away. 16-12, 20 to go. Easy kick to come.
The Bulldogs had some luck in their previous try. South Sydney got some on this one, and don't you need some on wet days like today? It was a nice little kick there by Reynolds, and one of the Bulldogs players, I think it might have been Jackson just puts out his boot, and who's there to scoop it up? And a nice little pick up in the wet too is David Tyrrell. Doesn't score many, as Dan said, but puts that one under the stripe. Gets the run here, Rabbitohs. The reigning premiers back into the contest, and they were working towards that, weren't they? They're obviously Isaac Luke's off the field. They've put Inglis to 5'8", Johnston back to fullback, so they've had to reshuffle. They've got a different side out there at the moment, Wendell, but still coming up with the goods.
Well, when you're the premiers, there's an urgency, mate, and that's what they're showing there. But I was going to say, I'm not a big fan of when you stick your leg out because, mate, your fullbacks have got that covered. And I know when I've been coached by Wayne Bennett, he wasn't a big fan of it either.
So, this kick here is nailed by Reynolds from in front, 16 points to 14. So Canterbury have been dominant through most of this game, but South's hanging around. We've got 19 minutes and 45 seconds to go on the Commander clock. Commander.com.au, the small business phone experts. James Graham about to come back into the game. Here's Brent Reid on the sideline.
This is when Canterbury have been their best this season. The last 20 minutes of their game so far, scored 8 tries, conceded 1. But with that try, you get the feeling Souths have got the momentum heading in this last 20.
And that was Dave Tyrrell's first try since round 13 last year against the Warriors. So not that long ago. Only 5 in his career. And now Tim Grant from this restart is clobbered in the tackle by Jackson and Tolman. Canterbury have led this from go to woe. Here's Tyrrell, the try scorer. Rushing past Eastwood momentarily, but he got some help from Tolman, who helps make the tackle. 20 short of halfway. Now rolling down the middle is Jason Clark. His offload previously put Canterbury on the back foot. This time, though, no offload. He goes to ground. Tony Williams brings him down. Play to Keary. Keary to George Burgess. He brushes past Tony Williams. Then comes to Tolman, and Tolman eventually helps bring him to ground. South on halfway. Play to Keary. Keary runs out of dummy half. A short pass to Grant. Grant comes at Reynolds, and Reynolds hangs on as he gets help from Clemmer. Last tackle. Good set for South. Comes to Reynolds, middle of the field. He kicks long over the head of the winger, but there to cut it off is Morris. Morris picks it up, gives it to the winger in Perrott, and Perrott is cleaned up. 10 out from their own line. As now Brett Morris doesn't go too far. He wanted to force the pass as he's pushed backwards here, and he did very well to hang on to it. But Canterbury are only 5 from their own line on tackle 2. Stuck in the right corner. Played to Wemby. Gives it to Jackson. Inglis races up and belts him. Still inside their own 10. Played now to Rona. He's just going to run it out of dummy half, and he doesn't go too far. What a set defensively from South. Ball gone here for the Bulldogs here. Ball played to Elisha. Gives it to Tolman. Tolman hits it up. And he goes down the middle where he's closed down. Geez, they're going to need a good kick on the end of this. It is the last. Hodkinson, he tries to kick the bladder out of the football. He only kicks it up to the 30, where it's taken here on the full by Johnston. Runs to the 40, now gets to halfway. That's where South will start this set, as the makeshift fullback is brought down by Williams. 16-14 Canterbury, 17 and a half to go. Now, a little settling run from Reddy out of dummy half. Gets to almost the 40. Played to Keary. Keary to Tyrrell. Tyrrell runs into one of the markers in Jackson, and that closes down the momentum. 3 gone. Played now to Keary. Passes off his right hip into the hands of Clark, and he just lumbers upfield as if he was trying to get an offload happening, but it didn't happen. Ball played to Keary. Throws it left to Inglis. Dumps it infield to Grant. He tucks it under the arm. It is brought down 20 metres away in front of the left upright. Last signal. Keary throws it right to Reynolds. Steps on the line. Stepping. Running. Still going. 10 metres out. He goes to ground. Gets rid of the ball. It's on the ground. It's dropped by Alex Johnston. And Canterbury come up with it. And yet again, the 5th tackle option lets the attacking side down. 16-14 Canterbury, as one of the Morris boys, that looks like Brett, runs upfield here for the Dogs.
Gee, I don't know. On the last play, if you're South Sydney, you've got Greg Inglis in your side. Wendell, you're somehow trying to put the ball in the air so he can get up and have a go at it, aren't you?
100% goods, mate. They're desperate now, and they just need him. And he's a big game player, and he makes those big plays.
Here's Graham hitting it up, and he's over halfway in jersey 22. Played to Elisha. Elisha gives it now to Frank Pritchard. He should be very, very fresh. That's his first touch of the game. 33 metres out. We'll play it now for Elisha. Elisha throws it right to Tolman, who thought about passing along the line, but then just decided to take the tackle himself. Last call, 25 out. Elisha now to Hodkinson. He's going to go to the bomb. It's coming down here for Reddy, 5 metres out. Reddy takes it nicely. And he won't go too far here, as Pritchard and Rona want to throw him into the in goal, but he's too strong, Joel Reddy, on this occasion, and he'll play it inside his own 10 for Johnston. Johnston here to Millard, and he's brought down here. 15 minutes to go, 15:40 on the commander clock, and you get the feeling there's a big twist in this game coming somewhere. There's now a little run here from Bryson Goodwin, sees him just get up beyond his own 20. Now comes across to Tim Grant on the next play, and 3 of them are there to meet him. And the big lock forward will get up and play it on 4. Now Inglis at first receiver. Called runners inside, just decided to take it up himself. And the last is signalled here, 5 short of halfway. It's thrown out to the right where Reynolds puts boot the ball, goes long, straight to Brett Morris. Takes it 10 out from his own line. Runs up to the 20, now comes to the 30. Thomas Burgess misses, but he gets some help from the kicker Reynolds and also Lowe. Bit of an arm wrestle at the moment, 15 minutes to go. It's Canterbury 16, South Sydney 14. In an entertaining and event-filled game. Here comes Curtis Rona going for a little run. And the first try scorer is claimed on tackle 2. Elisha now passes from dummy half to Frank Pritchard. He carries defenders with him and almost makes 20 metres. Now Canterbury inside South territory. Here it is, played to Elisha, throws it right to Graham, shaped the pass at the line. He then ran straight over the top of Inglis, who winced as he went down. But I think he's okay, as Graham will play it now for Elisha. Weaves out a dummy half, away from Thomas Burgess. Then he gets a pass to Hodkinson on his left. Hodkinson keeps it going to Pritchard. Pritchard to Josh Morris. Morris tries to go through, and he almost does. He turned one of the defenders inside out. Last 10 metres out. Comes from Rona dummy half. Across field to Hodkinson, shaping the kick. Now standing there. Now kicks high. Into the corner. Up they go. Beautiful take by Bryson Goodwin. 20-metre tap and a 7-tackle set for South. 16-14. It's Canterbury in front.
Yeah, great attacking set there by the Bulldogs. Josh Morris looked like he was going to go through and one-on-one with a fullback there, and a great last-minute tackle. I think it was out on this side by Adam Reynolds, got across to make it. But this one's right in the balance at the moment, boys. It's going to be interesting to see which set of halves can actually kick well, chase well, and put their side in a better position to win the match.
Triple M NRL for Harvey Norman, as now Greg Inglis goes one out with a run. Remember, if you're just tuning in, playing with some sort of knee injury, so he's been moved up to 5'8". And, of course, with Isaac Luke out of the game and Luke Keary going into dummy half. Here's Greswell going upfield. And he's brought down 40 metres out on tackle 3. Plays it quickly to Keary. Takes a couple of steps and passes to Thomas Burgess, who rolls upfield. And is taken by Tolman, but an excellent run there from Thomas. Ball played now to Keary. Running out of dummy half. Then dumping it infield to Clark. Clark steadies, straightens, gets to the 10, and he's brought down in front of the right upright. Last call, Thomas Burgess dummy half. Down to Adam Reynolds.
There's Inglis.
He kicks the high ball in the in goal. Taken by Mbai on the full. And that's a 20-metre tap for Canterbury in a 7-tackle set. Mbai races up to the middle, takes the tap, goes upfield. Reynolds, I thought, got him in front of the line, but the referee says we'll play on. That's the 0. Here it is now, played to Hodkinson. He gives it to Perrott, brushes off one, brushes off another, and then slips over, 10 short of halfway. Play to Jackson, goes open left to Hodkinson.
He's got to go.
Gives it going to a flat-footed Frank Pritchard, who just stands there and is easy meat for the defence. And the momentum that was gained by that quick tap has been lost. Played to Elisha, goes left now to Josh Morris. Running up the left side where 3 defenders are needed to close him down. They can't get him to ground, but he'll be made to play it on tackle 4. And he's just inside South's territory. Played to Elisha, takes a couple of steps at the line, then pops a pass to Tolman, who gets caught up in traffic there. And he'll be made to play it here. Now that's tackle 4, 38 away. Elisha goes right to Graham. Graham keeps it going to Josh Reynolds, turns it infield to Josh Jackson, then throws a wayward pass that Brett Morris has to go back for. He collects it and then straightens and is brought down 31 away. Messy set for the Bulldogs. We get to the last play. Elisha goes down the blind side. Away here to Josh Reynolds. He kicks towards the middle. It's along the ground. It finds the try line, but back there is Alex Johnston. Ducks under a high tackle, then goes to ground 4 out from his own line. In the end, not a bad result, Wendell Saylor, for the Bulldogs. They've got South stuck at their own end.
Yeah, Alex Johnston did a good job there. I mean, Reynolds was coming through 100 miles an hour, and he just throws him over and just gets out there. But, geez, the Bunnies got the rip in here. It's going to be tough in the last 11 minutes.
16-14, Canterbury over South Sydney. Possession has all been with the Canterbury side.
Good run.
So South Sydney here, just deep into their energy reserves. Excellent run from Greswell. Now on the next play, here's Keary from dummy half, giving it to Inglis, who almost finds a way through and earns his side a penalty. Well, there's some experience. Inglis went to ground quickly, got up even quicker, and the referee says that Michael Elisha interfered with the play the ball, Bill. And are you happy with that penalty?
Yeah, I'd like to see it up close, because from this distance it was hard to see whether he certainly plays for the penalty, milks it. He plays the ball and puts his hands out to the referee and says, well, what about that? And we're just seeing a coach eye replay now. It'll be off this play where we've got Inglis up to play the ball now, puts it on the ground, and he's milked the penalty. It should not have been a penalty.
So here comes South, an opportunity here. They're 20 metres out. Thomas Burgess hits it up on the first, and he's taken in front of the right upright. The Bunnies have not been in front all day. Ball now played to Keary. Keary gives it here to Grant, who winds up and goes down the middle. Taken around the ankles by Eastwood. They're coming closer. Here it comes from Keary, away to Greswell. Barges his way to the line. He can't get over. And in fact, the referee says he was over the line, but held up.
Chris Grievesmale, tackle 3. Time off. On the 10, Chris. Tackle 3.
He'll walk back to the 10. Bill,
this is outstanding by the Bunnies, mate. This is courageous.
I hate it when refs refer to players by name. Is that just me?
1 foot.
Some do, some don't, mate.
Here we go. On the left side of the field. Played to Keary. Goes right to Grant. Little wrap around for Keary. Keeps it going right to Reynolds. Short ball to Lowe. who juggles, regathers, is only a metre out and is stopped. If he held on to that, he was through. But he'll play it now for Keary. Keary now. Bullets a pass left to Adam Reynolds. A kick into the end goal. Early. Too big. It's allowed to go over the back. Great composure from Mbai and Brett Morris. 7 tackles set for the Dogs. 9:30 to go. Commander clock. It is 16-14 to Canterbury.
He's done that a couple of times today, Reynolds. I don't think there was any need to go with that kick, Gerds. I'm not sure about you, but, geez, that's pressure right there.
Yeah, look, there's 9 minutes to go, and as the halves in this side, when you're attacking there on the 4th play, you just got to run the set down. You got guys, you got momentum, and then you got to try. If you don't get the points, you got to get a repeat set. That was an absolute rush of blood there by Adam Reynolds, and the wrong thing for him to do.
Into the final 10. What drama do we have ahead of us? 16-14 Canterbury. As they've got the ball, the nominal home team. Lisha dummy half gives it to Pritchard. Doesn't go too far there as he runs into a brick wall. As Thomas Burgess and Jason Clark involved. Ball played to Lisha. Gives it here to James Graham running up the centre, and he gets over halfway and almost up to the 40. Plays it to Lisha. Takes a couple of steps out of dummy half. Then a short pass to Josh Reynolds. He's tangled up in traffic but gets the offload to Lisha. Lisha then throws it left to Josh Morris, who almost turns Daryl Millard inside out, and Millard just hangs onto him. 29 out. Ball played to Lisha. He goes to the right side now here to Eastwood. He bustles and barges to the 10-metre line and a touch beyond. Last tackle here for Canterbury. They're in front of the left upright. It's a slow play, the ball.
Rubber.
And there's the penalty. There's the penalty. Now, it shouldn't be that expensive for South, well, except it will give Canterbury a repeat set. I can't imagine they'd want to take the 2, even though it is a gimme, Ryan Girdler.
Yeah, look, I don't know about that, Dan. I get the feeling that they're going to take the 2 points here, puts them 4 ahead, and then...
Take the tap. Take the tap.
Well, Cronulla did this against Gold Coast and it cost them.
Yeah, they're taking the tap.
They are going to go for the try. Here's Aidan Tolman, bent back in the tackle.
I'm a goal kicker.
Canterbury 16-14, 8 to go. Centre field, Lisha dummy half, goes left to James Graham, tucks it under the arm and has a go, but he's met by George Burgess. Englishman on Englishman, 5 away, left upright, played to Lisha. He goes right here to a running Josh Reynolds. He runs sideways right, then he turns it infield to Mbai, but he's got nowhere to go as Inglis wraps him up. 9 away, right side of the field now, and this will be a slow play the ball as Mbai gets up slowly. Plays it to Lisha, goes left to Eastwood. Dummies well behind, before the line, and the defenders sit back and wait for him to come to them. And
left edge Dogs.
He's brought down here in front of the right upright. Here's Lisha. He throws it left to Hodkinson, who drops it. There's a little twist. South here come up with the ball. 0 tackle. Clark plays it. Reynolds dummy half. Away now, the man on his outside in Millard, who thought he was through for a moment, then he was picked up and driven backwards. But South here, they can't be put away at the moment by Canterbury. 16-14 as Joel Reddy goes for a little run. And he's brought down 22 metres short of halfway. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you're listening. It's a Good Friday special. As now running down the middle of the field is Grevesmill standing tall in the tackle. He wants to. Oh, that's a great run. He's run 15 metres there. Couldn't offload and he'll play it for Keary. Keary throws it left to George Burgess and he winds up. Gets over halfway. And he's knocked over just... penalty! Penalty South. Now, Adam Reynolds. 46 metres out. Do you think about it, Gerds?
Oh, you take the 2.
46 metres out in greasy conditions, although it's not that windy, and
you take the 2 with 6 minutes to go. You got to have a shot.
And we've seen him put it 55, 60 metres, haven't we, Gerds?
Well, here we go. Adam Reynolds is going to take the shot. Brent Reid tells us. In fact, what did you see down there, Reedy?
As soon as they got that penalty, Troy Thompson, the South High performance manager, ran straight on the field with 2 fingers in the air, so they took the 2 straight away.
We couldn't have Golden Point again, could we? We had 2 last week.
I hope so. But you know what? I love Golden Try. I don't like Golden Point. I like Golden Try. Can we change it at some stage? Do you think? But it's exciting.
Now, this is interesting. Reynolds is going to kick this 44 metres out. Now, I know I'm being pedantic, Billy. That penalty was dead set 48 metres out. Kaspersky kick predictor says 72% to tie the game. South haven't been level since 0-0. From next to the left upright, he moves in, starts it right, curling back, curling, he got it! 16-all!
Wow.
And now we've got Golden Point 5 minutes early. What a game at ANZ Stadium. And the Bunnies have finally clawed their way back because Canterbury, Ryan Girdler, just cannot put them away.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've looked disjointed in attack, especially attacking the Bunnies line. Plenty of opportunities in this second half, boys, but just haven't been able to come up with the points. Got the one try on the back of a lucky kick from Josh Reynolds, but otherwise it's been South Sydney just marching through them. But at the same token, they haven't been able to come up with points down the other side. So let's see who can set and kick a field goal.
Hodkinson's kicked 13 in his career. Josh Reynolds only one, but there's a knock on. George Burgess has dropped the ball, but the referee says play on. Now they've gone back. Now they've gone back. It's a scrum feed 10 metres out. What an error. What an error from South Sydney from the kickoff.
Yeah, line drop.
And it is a line dropout. Thank you, Billy. You're 100% right. It's a line dropout as we saw a low kick, which was dropped by Keary, a miscommunication. He and Thomas Burgess got tangled. It went through the hands of Keary on the Kotaya replay. Thomas Burgess had no chance. He picked it up, but he'd already dropped it forward by then.
Yeah, no, it hit Thomas's third leg.
Keary should have owned that.
Oh, this line dropout's gone 60 metres, and no one will pick it up. Now, James Graham finally does, but he's closed down by Grevsmill, who sprinted up from the kick, and Canterbury are inside their own half. Hodkinson plays it now for Tolman, and he barely gets it to halfway.
That's two.
That's two tackles gone from South. Ball played to Leisha. He gives it here to Clemmer, and he's up to the 40. Geez, you're excited, Gertz. Have you backed the draw? And now they're 40 out on tackle 3. Ball now played here to Leisha. He gives it to Tolman, and he just barges upfield. They're playing for the one, it would appear. They're 30 out. Played to Leisha. Gives it to Clemmer. They sit back and wait. He's up to the 20. He's a little beyond. Last tackle. They're just to the right of the post. They go deep left. Here's Hodkinson. He steadies. He shoots. He's got it. Trent Hodkinson has done it again. So reliable for Canterbury in these situations. But we still have 3:30 to go. 17-16. It's Canterbury. They've won 5 of their last 17 by 1 point. They could do it again. And that was a lovely shot, Gertz, because it wasn't easy for the Canterbury
He
half.
had Clark coming out from dummy half, and he was just so cool and composed. I think they won the same game last year, Dan, by 1 point.
You might be right, Gertz. Well, they won so many by that 1 point margin. Last week, of course, they beat the Tigers in Golden Point by 1. Now, no dramas off the kickoff at Graham, hits it up. He's brought down where Hodkinson's got it now, and he feeds it across to Cassiano. And it is Pritchard, you're right, Wendell, and he's brought down 15 short of halfway. Ball played now to Leisha. He's been good, hasn't he? He gives it to Rona, runs up the left side of the field. And he's drawn down 5 short of halfway. Lights taking full effect here. Canterbury just looking to hang on as it comes to Clemmer. Now the TV clock is stuck. Here it's 2 minutes 45 left. That's the official clock. Ball played here as it comes to Pritchard. Pritchard shovels it away to Josh Morris. He's up almost to the 30-metre line. Last call. They go the skinny left as it comes to Hodkinson. He stab kicks, looking for the line. Oh, yes, that's experience. He finds the line. South's here. They're not racing back to this scrum. And now finally they will bind with 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go. What are you pointing at, Dill?
George Burgess on his back here. George Burgess, he's got a he's all cramped up.
So South will get one set at the moment. That's what it appears. 2:18 is when the clock is stopped. They need to march it up 90 metres, or at least close enough for Reynolds, you would think, to have a shot.
I know we gave Trent Hodkinson a massive rap, and so we should, but the way the forward just went bang, bang straight at the post there, that's how you want to set it up. That makes his job so much easier. But he had to execute under pressure, which he's done numerous times.
Only 2 South players have ever kicked a field goal. Adam Reynolds has kicked 7, Greg Inglis has kicked 4, but Inglis is injured. You wouldn't imagine, he's a champion, but you wouldn't imagine they'd look to him. But speaking of that man, he runs from the scrum. He doesn't go too far, that was his claim. 2 minutes and 10 seconds left on the commander clock. South's down by 1. Keary pops a pass now to one of the Burgeye boys, and he's brought down here 20 metres. That's Thomas. As now, here's Dave Tyrrell. Hair flowing, running down the middle, and he's claimed 10 metres short of halfway. Now Grevsmill gets it to halfway. That's a great run. 45 out, 2 tackles left. They might be close enough. Here's the ball played to Keary. Gives it to Tyrrell. He's up to the 40, and he's brought down by Graham. If they take a shot, it's going to be long. Here it comes to Reynolds under pressure. He gets booted the ball, but he doesn't kick it well. It's rolling into the in goal. Rolling over the back.
Reynolds is no good. Reynolds is no good. James Graham signalling to the sideline.
Reynolds is gone. Reynolds is on his back. He's in agony. Brent Reid.
Looks like his left knee, Dan. Looks like he was clutching it, and James Graham straight away called out for help.
A minute 33 to go, and he was taken heavily. The pass to him wasn't crisp, and that meant that the defenders had a chance to make an impression on him. And Reynolds here is in agony.
Yeah, it was the wrong side too. Tyrrell took it as we go to the Graham comes through, and gee.
Bill, is an illegal tackle from Graham, who has gone down low and connected with his head with Reynolds' boot.
Yeah, you know what? He's actually coming in with his arms out to charge down the shot and to block it. And then he's hit his leg, the one leg that is still stationary on the ground.
His left leg, yeah, his left leg on the ground. Right foot kicker.
And I don't think there's anything in this one. I don't think they can go him. He doesn't go into tackling and aiming at legs. He's really trying to block the ball.
No, it's a field goal attempt. It'll be in front, mate.
Oh, it's a penalty. Oh. It's a penalty to South. They're going to get Graham for a late tackle. And because it was a kick, it's where the ball landed, Bill. A penalty is going to decide this game.
Okay. All right, James.
Is that penalty?
James.
Is that penalty?
Okay.
Graham has walked away in disgust.
The contact's on report, and because it's a field goal, the penalty's in front.
Oh, Graham's pointing again. It's a penalty to win the game. It'll be from in front. And with no distance.
Yes, he is.
A minute 33 left.
It's a penalty here, James.
Oh, Dave Clemmer.
Yeah, Clemmer's gone.
Clemmer's gone for 10. This game is ending in fast. Clemmer has been sent to the bin, and I reckon Graham is not too far from joining him. Penalty 10 metres out.
Reynolds still down.
Graham can't control himself. This is like European soccer. Graham has got to control himself.
Well, see, it's no point going off at the referee because that's the rule. That's where the penalty is given.
Oh, my!
So there's no point in going off at him.
Yeah, but you got to understand, these guys have just busted their gut for 79 minutes. He's charged down what would have been the winning field goal, come in contact with the leg. He wasn't looking. We get it's illegal, but gee, it makes it hard on these players. What are they supposed to do if they've got to charge down the field goal?
Crime?
He wasn't looking at him.
What was Graham's crime?
What can he do?
Look, I said I thought he charged it down. I don't think I would have done that. But the video referee has deemed it to be dangerous contact on the kicker.
What a joke.
And you know what? If the pass to Reynolds wasn't late, Graham wouldn't have been there. It was because of the pass to Reynolds being so late that Graham got so close.
The Bulldogs are going to lose this game because James Graham...
Now, time is off. A minute 19, Gerds.
Because of his effort.
They might get one more chance. Yeah. But South are about to take the lead, 18-17. Now, Reynolds, of course...
Heavily strapped left knee. He's up,
wow.
He's in there. Look at his left knee. Heavily strapped.
He's not going to kick. It's going to be a good one.
Unbelievable, Dan.
We've had so much controversy this year, and this could be the most controversial of the lot.
Now, he's got to get them all back. Even though they don't like it, they're all standing around him. They've got to be back on the line 10 metres away.
Bryson Goodwin is on the 10-metre line. Pritchard is about 3 metres away from him. He gets the kick, 18-17.
Unbelievable, Dan.
A minute 18. They can go the short kick-off and get it back. Can you imagine if they kick a field goal? Time is stopped because we're in the last 5 minutes. And it all comes down for Canterbury to this restart. They need to get it back. A minute 18 on the clock.
Morris boys on the left.
It's high to the left from Hodkinson. It's well weighted. It's coming down 15 away. Taken by Reddy. He jumps up above them.
Great take.
And now we're down to a minute 9. And now Reddy is going to play hurt. And time is called off.
This could erupt this. They need to keep a real close eye on this.
As James Graham continues his verbal barrage at referee Sutton.
This is unbelievable. I cannot believe... You said it, Dan, earlier on. There's a big twist in this game.
Okay. As now, South just played here and they hit it up. And going forward is Dave Tyrrell. The air has gone out of the ground.
I can't believe it, Dan.
50 metres out South. All they need to do is hang on to it and put it into touch. Here's Griswold hitting it up. And now Josh Reynolds races up and tries to put a big hit on him. He'll want to be careful.
It's going to erupt.
40 metres, 40 seconds to go, 40 metres out. It comes to Inglis. He turns it infield now into the hands of McQueen, who just hits it up. 30 seconds to go. Last tackle called. Canterbury need to somehow get this ball back. Here it goes to Inglis. He rolls a kick. Canterbury's going to get this back. Brett Morris has got it. He's 100 metres out. Oh, no! He's gone down hurt. He's gone down hurt in the goal. He's got a knee problem. It's a line dropout, but Brett Morris, he could not make an attempt to bring that back.
Oh, no.
It looks like hamstring.
Here it goes here. Look, it goes here.
Left hamstring. Bryson Goodwin cleaning up. The siren's gone.
That's unbelievable, that victory.
Here we go. Watch this. You need a Chubb security van in here for the refs to get him out of the joint.
Yep.
The grand final rematch has ended in the most controversial circumstances.
They're throwing bottles onto the field.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Goodness.
You can't go doing that.
This is Lang Park 1988. They are throwing bottles on the field here.
Oh, no. Oh, that's dangerous. They're full.
And there are Canterbury...
One of the linesmen just got hit.
A referee has been hit.
Over.
Now they're racing up the field. They're racing up the tunnel. They're out of harm's way.
One of the officials went over.
One of the referee, because he was on a slippery surface, he was hit by a bottle and slipped over.
Wow.
Oh, this is extraordinary.
And it's also disgraceful.
The bottles have stopped, by the way.
There's no reason to throw a full bottle because not only you might miss the ref, you probably hit one of your own bloody supporters.
Well, around that area, it was all Canterbury cheerleaders and Canterbury players. They were only going to hit their own, apart from the refs.
And there's actually 3 or 4 police officers. Actually, there's about 8 police officers around where the players' dugouts are on both sides.
We're going to take the press conferences live, I'm told. We're going to take the press conferences live. So stay tuned to Triple M NRL. And it was one of the touch judges, Bill. Oh, that's an awful sight to see a ref, anyone go down. And then another referee slipped up the tunnel as they were racing to get off the arena here at ANZ Stadium. Wow.
I think they've beaten the last 3 times now, I think, the Bunnies. Well, I said it before, I thought the Dogs had done enough to win that game, but never say die. That's what a champion side does. The Bunnies, wow.
Adam Reynolds is with you, Brent Reid.
Adam, what do you make of that last minute and a half or so?
Yeah, mate, it was a bit chaos. My kicking game wasn't up to scratch today, and lucky enough, the big boys through the middle really laid the platform and gave us another chance to win that game.
And obviously saw what happened with the knee and the James Graham incident. I mean, can you take us through that?
Yeah, mate, I sort of know what happened. Just went to have a shot at field goal, and legs went from underneath me, and pretty sore at the moment, but I'm sure the medical staff look after me.
Up to you, boys.
Adam Reynolds, it's Wendell Saylor, mate. Congratulations on the win, mate. There's a real belief in this Bunnies team, and, I know you're down a few players, but whoever comes in, you just seem to know your roles, and you found a way to win today, when you should have been 18 points down in the first half.
Yeah, mate, that's the confidence that we've got from our training. We really put in the training, and, we lost Isaac in that first half there, and, whoever comes in, mate, we're more than comfortable there. We just got to, stick to our process and believe in ourselves.
Yeah, Ryan Girdler, mate, congratulations. Can you tell us a little bit more about Isaac and Gifty went off to Glenn Stewart late in the half? Was that concussion as well?
Yeah, I'm not too sure, mate. Isaac just had a nice cut on his head there, and, they decided to keep him off. I'm not too sure if it was a concussion or not. And, Glenn Stewart just went off midway through that second half. And but it's a real credit to our bench, mate. They really come on and filled in their positions well.
Gee, they did, mate. But what about that kick-off? You just get yourself back level pegging, and poor Keary gets a mix up there with George Burgess, and, mate, it was over. The game was done, and you find yourselves getting out of that one.
Yeah, mate. He'll keep his head up. He had a great game today. Luke Keary filled in the hooker there for Isaac, and it's in our process. We just had to get back to playing footy, mate, and kick long, and we knew we'd give ourselves another chance to win the game.
All right, well done. But the upshot for you, you're okay.
Yeah, mate. I'll get in the dressing room and assess it. It's not feeling too good at the moment, but I'm sure they'll look after me.
All right, well done on the win. Thank you very much. Adam Reynolds joining us on Triple M NRL. My goodness.
Oh, I'm just shell-shocked by that whole thing, Dan. I haven't seen anything like that in a game of rugby league. I mean, we can't do that. I mean, as fans of the game, we all get emotional, we get angry, but we need to look after our officials better than that.
The abuse of the referee from James Graham and Dave Clemmer, they might have been in the right, but that abuse was disgraceful, and that fired up this crowd. Let's go downstairs with you, Brent Reid.
Greg, pretty dramatic end to that game. What do you make of it all?
I think from a player's point of view, it was just end-to-end footy, and that's what these two sides bring out the best in each other.
Your knee, you look like you had a bit of trouble with your knee there. Can you take us through what was going on?
I think it was just a clash on, with the knees, and it just happened. And slowly, gradually got better. And by half time, it was all fine. It's still sore now, so get back in the recovery mode.
Up to you, boys.
G.I. Dell, mate. Congratulations on that win, mate. It was a big change, I think, bringing you to 5'8" to get you more involved there, and Alex Johnson back to fullback. Obviously feel quite comfortable there.
Yeah, I played there a number of years ago, and just going back there, fullback these days are they're 5'8" rolling, so for you at the back directing people instead of moving up and down, which probably you're not used to, big deal.
I think it was a Clive Churchill medal too from 5'8", wasn't it?
Well, like I said many years ago.
Hey, Greggy Ryan Girdler, mate, congratulations on the victory, mate. How emotion charged was that last couple of minutes? I mean, you're a skipper. You got to keep your head. You saw what happened there with James Graham, and obviously, getting 10 minutes. It was Big Clemmer off. How was it? Yeah. How hard was it keeping all your guys' heads together and focused to try and get the job done?
Oh, I think my job's quite simple. I've got great leaders around me. A few of them went off, a few of them not playing. But whoever we bring up, we know they can do a job, and everyone sort of knew what to do, and we had to stick to our process and stick together in our group.
Greg, did you think that was a penalty?
Look, boys, I can't. I'll have to go back and review it.
Well said, Skipper.
Well done. Thanks, guys. Take care.
Well done. Rewarded for hanging in there, South Sydney, but it certainly was a controversial last decision.
One common theme with the Bunnies team, and that's what championship sides do, mate, it's about processes. You stick to it, even though it wasn't there first half, wasn't there, the first 40 minutes, they hung in there. And I've got to say, Glenn Stewart was the catalyst still. He made them hang in there. He got the line speed going. He just got into everything.
Louis telling Triple M to shut up when you're in the moment. Stuff comes out, get over it. You should know better as ex-NRL players. Louis can't do what those Bulldogs players did. Let's take a quick break because we want to take these press conferences live. But if you're a Bulldogs fan, you have every right to feel aggrieved because a very controversial penalty has given South Sydney an 18-17 win in the grand final rematch. Yes, Bill?
Just having a look at this crowd. They're waiting for the South Sydney players to go off. They're not taking them up the tunnel now. They're taking them down to the far end where they can probably secure them better. But the Doggies fans are now running down with them.
I've never seen this. I've never, ever seen this. We haven't seen bottles thrown onto a field since 1988 Lang Park. We had that a few moments ago, which saw one referee, one touch judge take a tumble. And now, you're right, these fans have gone over to the northern part of the stand here as far as they can, and they are hurling abuse at these South Sydney players. Now, I can't see anything being thrown at the moment. They're just offering some advice. But that one appears to be okay. Oh, boy.
Yeah, it looks like there's a little bit of advice going back as well, Dan.
Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. Press conferences live. How is Des Hasler not going to talk about the Voldemorts? Triple M NRL for Harvey Norman.
The Grill Team.
And it is April Fool's Day today.
Oh, it is too.
You may not even know it yet, but you've actually been gotten already. Usually, everyone has a swipe card. Today, though, there was the sign saying, we are currently trialling new voice-activated technology.
Please state your name.
Mark Goya.
May I ask you to repeat more slowly, please?
Goya. Matthew John.
I'm sorry, I did not understand that.
That I'm going to Nova.
Triple M Breakfast.
I love road trips, and the team at Autobarn can help you get where you're going.
Save over 50% on 5-litre Castrol Magnatec at crazy $19.99. Core LED driving light bars from a low $129 each. Save up to 50% on Harley-Davidson accessories. And you never know what you'll see if you grab a handy Navman dash cam, just $146. Autobarn's Big Easter Break catalogue out now.
Autobarn, we know how to get you there.
Percentage off regular ticketed price.
Being a member of your NRL club means more than just screaming yourself hoarse every weekend. It means the best seats at the best price at every game. It means first option on tickets to all the big ones, finals, grand final and state of origin. It means exclusive club events. It means discounts on merchandise. And it means a lot to your club too, because being a member means you're the difference. The season started, but it's never too late to join. Just visit nrl.com/membership.
And there you are, just there.
It kind of loses a little bit of the magic, seeing 6 other women's names tattooed on you.
Maybe I should get those taken off before the wedding.
You think?
Need to erase a colourful past? Vanish Skin Clinic's PicoSure technology removes tattoos in half the time it normally takes. Book this month and get a massive 50% off your first treatment. Hit vanishskinclinic.com.au or call 1-800-VANISH and say goodbye to your tattoos.
Fast and Furious 7 hit cinemas today. The franchise phenomenon reunites the whole Fast family. Vin Diesel, Paul Walker, Michelle Rodriguez and Dwayne Johnson. And joining a blockbuster lineup is Jason Statham and Kurt Russell.
Yeah, that's right, Del. The adrenaline-fueled, jaw-dropping stunts are bigger and better than ever before. So hurry, book your tickets now for a high-octane ride this Easter long weekend. Fast and Furious 7. It's in cinemas now. Get down there and check it out.
Get a load of this. With Sportsbet on any of the first 4 races on the Championships Day 1, place a win or each way bet, and if your horse runs second or third, cash back up to $100. It's Sportsbet's awesome racing carnival. Download us. Conditions apply and gamble responsibly.
How do you make the best tasting chips even tastier? Simple. You make them $1. Yep. A piping hot regular pack of legendary KFC chips are now only $1. Chase the taste. KFC. At participating stores for a limited time.
There's a feast of football this Easter at ANZ Stadium. 4 p.m. today sees the Bulldogs take on the Rabbitohs. Will Brett Morris lift the Dogs over Greg Inglis's 2014 premiers? At 3 p.m. Easter Monday, the Eels take on West Tigers. Can Hopewade hold off young gun Tedesco in the Battle of the West? Sydney Public Transport is included in all pre-purchase tickets and club membership. It's great family value, so buy today at nrl.com/tickets. We'll see you there.
We understand some workplaces can't agree on a radio station. But just for the record, this is what you'll miss out on Triple M.
All the small things through my eyes never win. It's always bittersweet. Don't call me, don't not fade through. But after the boys of summer gone.
Triple M at work. It ain't over yet. Get inside the game with Triple M NRL for Harvey Norman. The verdict starts now. For DeWalt, guaranteed tough. Available at Bunnings. The footy's never sounded better. Triple M NRL.
Oh my goodness, we have not seen scenes like this for many, many years, but the crowd now is dispersed from ANZ Stadium, mostly a Canterbury crowd. Bottles thrown on the field, players being abused. You can understand, while there's absolutely no excuse for what went on, you can understand the anger from the players and the fans, because a very controversial penalty, which seems to have split people down the middle, boys. Was it a penalty against James Graham? 18-17 the final score. South on a penalised charge down for a late tackle against James Graham. South winning over Canterbury. It's Triple M NRL for Harvey Norman, Ryan Girdler, Wendell Saylor, Bill Harrigan, Dan Ganane. We will take the press conferences as soon as they happen live.
Dan, James Graham just got penalised for doing his job. It gets to that time of the game. You've got a side setting for a field goal. He's just going to come out of the line as long as he's offside, as hard as he can, and get at the kicker. He doesn't care how he gets at him. He's going to try and win the game for his team, and that's all he did. The fact of the matter that he had to go for the ball and he came in contact with Adam Reynolds' legs is an unfortunate part of our game, but sometimes it's going to happen. It's going to happen. There's intentional, there's late, and sometimes there's unintentional, and for mine, he had no intent on getting at Adam Reynolds' legs. He was trying to win the game for the Bulldogs. I think it was super unfair. I don't condone what the Bulldogs fans did here, but I understand the emotion of the players. They should have been better, but that was madness, Dan. You can't penalise a guy for doing his job.
Mate, I agree with you, Gerds, because when James Graham came out, he jumped and he wasn't even he just had his hands out there to try and knock that ball down. It was unfortunate that as Adam Reynolds kicked it, he came into contact with his leg, but there's no way that he was going to charge down at his legs, because I saw that earlier in the year, Kafusi on Benji Marshall. You know, that was something that was done on purpose, but not then. And it was just so unfair that the game ended like that. I don't care who you support, but we just don't need that, sort of decisions ruining a great spectacle.
Billy, but before that, if you missed the news, referee touch judge Gavin Morris was hit by an object. He appears to be okay, but he was struck by what appeared to be a pretty full water bottle. I mean, we're about 50 metres away, so it looked full.
Yeah, I saw him get hit. And then I also saw Nick Bishop just get grazed by another one that went flying past him. And as he tried to avoid it, he slipped over and went down on the deck pretty hard. Let's talk about them going off the field before I come back onto the incident on the field. The way they came off the field then, that is a referee's nightmare when you know you've got to walk up that tunnel and you have got people hanging over the side of that thing, frothing and spitting and all that sort of thing. But if you get that, you can cop it. You think, okay, they're going to spit on me, they're going to yell abuse. But when people start throwing objects and you can get hit, and not only the referees, all the security staff and all the other doggy supporters that were standing down around there could have been hit in the head, and you get hit in the head by an object like that, and all of a sudden you could end up in hospital and anything could have happened. So it was irresponsible, and the doggies that threw it, you're a disgrace for throwing those objects. 2, on the field. Let me put this one to you two footballers. You're kicking the ball. What if Adam Reynolds end up getting whacked in the leg and it snapped his leg, the bottom of his leg? Are you feeling any different there?
That's the game. What the
NRL did a number of years ago was to protect the kicker.
Yeah, and we do that well.
When you are kicking, you cannot attack the leg of the player. Now, just because he went in there with his head down, I agree with you. He had his head down. He had his hands out to block the kick, the path of the ball.
Yep.
But in the end, he has to take responsibility that he collided with a leg, which was one leg planted on the ground, the other leg was in the air kicking, and that's what they're trying to avoid.
Yep.
And he did come into contact with it, and that's what he has to take responsibility of it for.
So what do we
And
take the charge? Sorry, we take the charge down out of the game.
No, you don't.
It's a big part of the game now.
Yeah, you can still charge down, but what I'm saying is you have the responsibility, because of that rule introduced by the NRL to protect players kicking the ball, you can't hit a leg when the other leg is in the air and it's planted on the ground like that. That's just a simple rule.
We understand that.
You can't argue with the rule.
Yeah, and 9 out of 10 times, Billy, the referees, and this is where common sense needs to come into play. That's been a great rule for our game. You're not going to get any ex-player argue that fact. We've got to protect our kickers because usually our kickers are our playmakers and they're the people that we all come to watch. There's a minute to go in a game and we've got a player trying to win the game, yeah? It's a different circumstance. It's just not after a general play kick where the game's been going for 40 minutes or 45 minutes and it's a general play kick. We've got the match on the line. We've got guys like James Graham that make 45 tackles and 25 hit-ups, bleed, go off, get stitched, come back on, full of emotion, trying to win the game for their club. So he's come out of the line at 100 miles an hour, doing anything he can to win the game for his club. He might have got it wrong on this instance, but there's not much he could do about where he ends up because all he's looking at is that ball and winning the 2 points for the Bulldogs. So in that circumstance, Adam Reynolds goes down. I believe, and this is my personal opinion, that when the referees see that, they go, you know what, there's nothing James Graham could have done, and that's just the way. He had his shot. He got his shot in. If Reynolds was good enough and the setup was good enough, it wasn't. They went to the right. He's a right-footed kicker. They should have gone to the left. So South Sydney did not set up. They did not deserve to kick the field goal. James Graham ran out, did a great job in putting him off and making sure that he kicked it over that way, and they won the game.
I don't disagree with anything you said there, except the rule is in place and James Graham has to take responsibility that he doesn't come into contact with the leg when he races out to charge it down. I'm hearing you, and I saw the same thing. And it was a terrible rush shot for field goal, nowhere near it. And then the rule, because it is an attempt at field goal, the rule is if you're going to give a penalty, then it's got to be 10 metres out in front of the sticks. And that's the harsh part on the doggies. Bang, you lost it on that. But I go back to, there is a rule, and we can look at the empathy of the game and all that sort of thing, but the rule was there.
Which at some point we need to, Billy.
When you've got that rule,
we need to look at the game.
They've just got to turn around and say...
That is the disconnect between the referees, and I know we've got the ex-players in there, but it can't be black and white. That's a situation where it can't be. He came in contact with the leg.
Gerds, the rule is
in place there to
protect the player.
Well, it's ridiculous.
Yes, but what if he had snapped his leg?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's...
Then do we still say...
They're the moments, Billy. They're the moments.
And this is the same moment with the 8-point try.
I've snapped my leg.
When they argued and said the game is so fast and he kicked his leg out to try and prevent him from scoring the try, okay, you did. But you have to have responsibility here because you end up hitting him in the head and that's where you lost.
I'm coming out of retirement, Billy, because I can't get hurt.
Okay, let me put this on you, Billy.
Yeah.
That decision was late. Means it was made, I would imagine, by the video ref.
Of course it was.
Because Reynolds was down, do you think that influenced his decision?
Reynolds gets up and starts running after that ball or something like that.
So because
they're not
Reynolds
stopping
stays
play,
down
they're playing. Because Reynolds stays down.
And he was hurt. He wasn't milking it, but he did stay down.
He was injured.
Correct. And that gives the opportunity for the referees to have the video referee review it. Now, let me tell you, it's a lot of pressure on that video referee in there to make that decision too, because he knows, okay, wow, this is a big one. But then if he falls back on the black and white, and whether we both believe it was a penalty or not, he has to sit there and go, right, tick boxes here. Does he attack the leg or hit the leg?
He doesn't attack the leg. He hits the leg.
He hits the leg. He doesn't
ends up
attack
contact with the
Okay,
leg.
so he hits the leg.
Isn't there a difference?
Contact, no. If you have contact with the leg in the process of kicking, when a leg is planted on the ground and the other one is in the air, you just can't do it. So he ticks that box and says, right, that he did that, so I've got that box ticked. That means it's a penalty. Because it's a field goal, I've got to give the penalty directly in front. Bang. And he has to stick with the rule that he's got. It's black and white for him.
1-3-3-5-3. We'll, if we can take your calls, we will, because
100%.
we're on here until 7 o'clock our time.
Are we?
In New South Wales. I think we've got a few things to talk about. Wendell, it's 6:22 now.
Oh,
We're gonna
yeah,
take the
plenty
press
of time,
conferences
mate.
live.
Wendell, you got a room in the city anyway. I mean, what are you in a hurry to get to?
Yeah, no. I'm just. What time's the other game? Well, I'm keen for that game.
8:30 New South Wales.
Oh,
time,
wow, we've got plenty of time. Yeah, boys, let's just chat it out.
Now, I do feel sorry for the Bulldogs fans to behave, because the Dogs for the last decade have done so much good work in terms of restoring their reputation. It was only a very small minority that threw things on the field, but unfortunately for them, that's going to be the headline, the small minority.
There is two dozen bottles, roughly, all up.
They're still out there.
About
Look,
2 dozen bottles were thrown. So roughly you've got around...
So 25 people out of 40,000 have been
let you down.
idiots.
They've let the doggy supporters down.
So the posts are coming off the field here. That's right. They've got an AFL game on here tomorrow, which will be on Triple M Sydney. The Swans and the GWS Giants.
I've got a headache, Dan.
What, because I said Swans and GWS?
No, not at all, not at all. I almost burst a blood vessel back in that last 5 minutes.
Now, can I just ask my guys in the back, are we close to getting press conferences? We don't know. We have to take an ad break. Let's take that ad break now. Let's get that out of the way, and we'll record anything that might be missed here. But we're still a few minutes away, we believe, from having Des Hasler and Michael Maguire address the media. What an afternoon. Grand final rematch, South Sydney 18, Canterbury 17, Triple M NRL for Harvey Norman.
There's no other station in the world like Triple M, famous for playing the greatest rock songs of all time and keeping Sydney in touch with the best new rock, throwing footy.
This is Terrified Rugby League. That's why we love it.
Couple of clowns. And you've got Sydney's home of rock, sport and comedy. 104.9 Triple M, 35 years.
Well done, congratulations.
And still going strong.
Cut loose with a Vodafone prepaid $30 cap. Score unlimited data and unlimited standard calls to India, China, USA, UK and New Zealand. Stream like no one's watching with all the data you want and talk your heart out all weekend long. Grab a Vodafone prepaid $30 cap and cut loose this weekend and every weekend until April 26. Vodafone, power to you. All for use in Oz. Fair use policy and T's and C's apply. Offer excludes Hong Kong. See vodafone.com.au/unlimited weekend for details.
The Australian Festival of Pork is on again. I'm Colin Fastnich, and all through April, you can judge my recipes for a change. Check them out at your butcher, independent supermarket or pork.com.au and get some pork in your fork this Porkfest.
Love your footy live and loud? Then don't miss the Friday night footy action at the Stars 24/7 Sports Bar with 5 mega screens. Every try, every goal and every win is bigger and better at the Star. And our stadium atmosphere is the next best thing to being at the game. The Star Sydney, the home of football. More info at star.com.au. Over 18s only. The Star practices the responsible service of alcohol. Bet with your head, not over it.
The feast of football this Easter continues here at ANZ Stadium. Today, of course, the grand final rematch, but on Monday, it was a classic last year, and we wait with anticipation again. The in-form Parramatta against the West's Tigers, who are also 2 wins and 2 losses. You've got the likes of Brooks and Tedesco and Moses up against Parramatta's guns like Sando and Corey Norman and Will Hopewadi in the forward battle. Sydney Public Transport included in all pre-purchase tickets and club membership. NRL.com/tickets.
With NRMA Car Insurance, you're covered for anyone who drives your car. Sound good? Shouting it off the Blue Mountains can make it sound even better.
With NRMA car insurance, you're covered for anyone who drives your car.
NRMA Car Insurance. It's insurance, just NRMA better. Call 132 132. Visit us online or in branch. Conditions apply. Always read the PDS from NRMA Insurance.
The Star's Ultimate 4 BMW giveaway. There's a new BMW to be won every Sunday from April 12 to May 3. Open to Red and Red Plus Absolute Rewards members. Not a member? It's quick and free to join. Earn entries every day at the Star. Then be at the draw and play on the day for your chance to win a BMW, plus other daily prizes. The Star's Ultimate 4 BMW giveaway. Over 18s only. Bet with your head, not over it. Terms and conditions apply. Ask a casino host for details, including draw times.
Before you hit the road this Easter, get into Bob Jane T-Marts. They're open till 4 p.m. on Easter Saturday. So make sure your tyres and wheels are safe and sound this Easter break. Bob Jane T-Marts. Open Easter Saturday till 4 p.m. We'll look after you.
Triple M NRL, let's go live to the South Sydney press conference, which has just started. You haven't missed anything.
Now you mentioned 2 concussions.
Yeah.
Pretty brave and going to get 15 minutes before that game. Was Isaac able to get a good chance of coming back on? Because when he was playing, he was okay.
Yeah, the concussions are a very interesting sort of topic now. Obviously, it's very well discussed, but with the new rulings, I think because he was concussed there, he had to stay off. I think in that case, especially now if they're moving forward with the concussion rule, I haven't made a lot of comment about it, but to lose a player, I think the game's got to either look at whether or not they have someone that can actually sit on the sideline and replace that player, whether or not the opposition team will lose a player but still be able to put 13 on the park, because I guess at the end of the day, in that situation, we lost a player for our half, and that's why I talk about the character of our team to be able to come up with the result there. But I think from the concussion point of view, they've definitely got to look at, if someone comes from the field, you're actually, especially when there's a penalty, where it affects us, and so therefore we need to, as a game, I think probably look into that.
An 18th man.
Yeah, have an 18th man sitting on the sideline. So if in that situation, I think for Isaac to come off at half time, and I was told at half time, as our doctor does, he's very thorough, came to me and said he can't go back out. So I think in that case, we should be able to bring another man onto our bench. I mean, we talk about the great character of my team, and we ended up playing with 2 down, but it affects throughout a game. So I think that's where the game needs to have a look at.
Would they leave with one player, like if it's a hooker or a halfback?
Well, I guess that's a choice of the team that you've got, but ultimately at the end of the day, I think to lose a player like we did at half time, I think what's fair is having a player there that can actually replace that player.
You've been very pleased with like hearing the hooker.
Yeah, he did a good job. Yeah, he got in and steered us forward, and I think at times there we're probably going a bit side to side, and the boys spoke about it at half time, and we probably gave away quite a number of 7 tackles through the ball going dead, but the boys stuck by each other and found a way to stay in the game and make sure they took control at the end.
Greg, your knee looked pretty sore for a long time there.
Yeah, it's just an ongoing thing. I think that's just what I have to deal with. We got really good medical staff here, so strap it up and back out you go.
Greg, you moved into the forwards at the end there. Obviously, you just put things together. We're proud that you guys, it was a bit mismatched, but you went through with it.
Yeah, once again, I think it's not, we got individual players in our side that does the job when they need to. And I thought today, throughout the whole game, everyone stood up today.
Let's leave that there because, let's be honest, we're waiting for the Des Hasler press conference and we got everything we wanted to out of South. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, the Des Hasler press conference. South Sydney win over the Canterbury Bulldogs in controversial circumstances, 18 points to 17. Let's just go straight to a break. We'll do Player of the Day a little bit later. Triple M NRL.
The Grill Team.
Gussie, can I ask you, did you get any unusual phone calls on the weekend?
Yeah, I got 20 or 30 phone calls which were random, and in the end I had to switch my phone off.
Let's have a listen to what happened on a few country radio stations.
Buy, trade and sell. Hey, who do we have here?
It's Gussie, mate. How are you?
What do you got for us today?
I've got some Hugh Jackman signed posters. We're great mates.
Who do we have here?
Well, we've got Kelvin, mate. I've got 5 memberships to the Sydney Roosters here.
Contact number for us, mate?
040.
Triple M Breakfast.
Being a member of your NRL club means more than just screaming yourself hoarse every weekend. It means the best seats at the best price at every game. It means first option on tickets to all the big ones, finals, grand final and state of origin. It means exclusive club events. It means discounts on merchandise. And it means a lot to your club too, because being a member means you're the difference. The season started, but it's never too late to join. Just visit nrl.com/membership.
ANZ is pledging to lend $2 billion to new small businesses, which could be very handy for a new handyman business. A tasty chance to get into the frozen yogurt trade or open up some opportunities for a locksmith. So, whether you need $20,000, $200,000 or more, search ANZ Lending Pledge to find your local ANZ small business specialist. The ANZ $2 billion Lending Pledge. Big support for new small businesses. All applications for credit are subject to ANZ's credit assessment criteria.
Need another reason to hop into Shell Coles Express this Easter? Swap an 8.5 kilo gas bottle for just $25. And because it's over $20, you'll save 10 cents instantly on every litre of fuel. Only at Shell Coles Express. Open every day this Easter.
For the first time in Australia, see the entire creative vision of David Lynch, exclusively at the Gallery of Modern Art in Brisbane. Between Two Worlds is on now but ends Sunday, June 7. For exhibition and ticket details, search David Lynch at Goma.
This is the sound of someone driving along a road at night. He's not drunk. He's not speeding. He was just tired. It's one of the 3 big killers on New South Wales roads. How tired are you? If you're driving, don't trust your tired self. Authorised by the New South Wales Government, Sydney.
G'day, Dr. Carl here. Now, back in 1900, life expectancy at birth was 55 years for women, 51 for men. And in 2055, it's projected to be 97 years for women, 95 for men. That's astonishing, almost double. But as well as opportunities, our changing population will bring real challenges, as outlined in the latest intergenerational report. Search Challenge of Change to see my talk and form your own view. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra, spoken by Dr. Karl Kruszelnicki.
I love road trips, and the team at Autobahn can help you get where you're going.
Feel the power and save $45 on selected supercharged Silver Plus batteries, just $99. Or pick up a Kenwood 200-watt Bluetooth double-din CD tuner, only $199. Grab 30% of all Mother's car care range and save 15% on the entire range of Rhino Rack roof racks. Autobahn's Big Easter Break catalogue out now.
Autobahn, we know how to get you there. Percentage off regular ticket price.
That is not us. That is not what this club is about, and it's not what sport in this country is about. Unfortunately, the behaviour of a few can kind of ruin it and spoil it for everybody. I know there's going to be comment. I know there will be a lot of social comment. But you people with the pen need to be also responsible in the way you write about it and the way you report on it. That is not, as again I said, it is not about what this club is about. And again, on behalf of all the officials and the players and everybody involved with the club, our sincerest apologies for what appeared, and it won't happen again. Let's talk some football.
What do you think about the final penalty?
It's probably in the rules. What's more important was probably the rules being applied to the kick-off.
You got the push in there, did Josh Mills?
Oh, well, was it a push?
Well, that was a play.
No, you've said it, so yes, there was some level of interference. In fact, illegal interference that occurred. And look, those happenings in the game sway back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. They got theirs on the charge down. We were denied ours from the kick-off. Does he kick the goal? He's a fair kicker, Holgo, but we'll never know, will we? But it was just unfortunate for what was, I thought, was a pretty hard, tough, engaging game of football. Both sides gave their all. Both sides are very passionate about how they go about their footy. There was probably a lot about us in helping South, win that game. We had our chances. We did. We really had our chances. I think we had the game won, then we had it lost, then we had it won, and then we lost, and we had set it up again. But sometimes that's football, and sometimes there are cruel twists. As for the decision making, I'd like to comment, but I'm not allowed to. So I'll leave it up to 450 years of experience. That's journalists. For you to comment on that.
James, you're pretty upset at the end. Can you take us through what's going through your head in the last few minutes?
Obviously, it's a huge game, and with it being close as it was, and at the time I felt like a decision that went against us was wrong, but it is what it is. And I guess when you're in that moment, and when you've invested so much energy into trying to get 2 points, and that's the opportunity for that is barring a minute and 20 seconds is taken away from you. You tend to, sometimes the emotion gets the better of you, I guess.
There'll probably be footage showing players.
Can't hear.
There'll probably be footage showing players going to referee and all the stuff at the end of the game. Dave Clemente, you see him. Does that worry you?
It's not ideal, I don't think we want to get in a position where we're like football players and we're bombarding referees after every decision. But when it's so close to the end, and I think from my point of view, I thought that just at that time, I was thinking the decision was incorrect, but it's probably not good behaviour from us in terms of crowding the referee. But again, when it's at the top level, when there's so much energy and time invested in trying to get the win, and it comes down to that last 90 seconds, it's hard to just act like politically correct, I suppose, is maybe a phrase.
I think what James is trying to say is that there are causes of frustration out there, and I can't say what those causes of frustration are, but you've got a fair idea where it comes from, because I'm not allowed to comment on it.
Do you have a comment on David Clement's sin binning? Obviously, you just mentioned where.
David is a fabulous player. He's going to be around for such a long time. He's got such a tremendous career in front of him. I think James explained it pretty well. Where sometimes he's young and he's probably got a little frustration a little bit the better of him, but he'll learn from that. So don't crucify him. He'll learn from that. He'll move on. It's round 5. We play St George next Sunday. Thank you.
There he is, a lot of contrition there from Des Hasler, saying that you didn't miss anything, by the way. We got that about 15 seconds in, so it was he opened up, as you heard, with an apology on behalf of the club for the unruly behaviour of the fans. Now, a tweet has just come through from Channel 9 News suggesting that an ambulance has been called here to ANZ Stadium. Now, I don't know what that's in reference to. We do know a referee was struck by a bottle and then was and then scurried up the tunnel. So I have no idea if that is in relation to that or anything to do with fans. but an ambulance has been called to ANZ Stadium, so we'll keep an eye on that. Yes, Bill?
Okay, the one thing that I think was missing from that press conference, I like Desi. He did show contrition there, and I thought he handled it pretty well. The thing I missed from James Graham was he needed to stand up there and walk in and say, right, I've had a chance to cool down. My behaviour out there I apologise for. It was out of control. It was out of line, and I sincerely apologise to everybody out there that witnessed what I did out there today. Now, I was frustrated, but I still got to control that a lot better. Had he have said that, I'm sitting back here saying, well, okay, terrific, because we still not can walk away from the fact that this game is being watched by all these other young footballers and kids out there, and they have seen that. They don't see the apology and everything later on or any contrition at a press conference. They see what happened right at that moment, and that is the damage that is going to be done to our game.
I think you will see maybe tomorrow. He'll be on one of the shows. I reckon he'll go home tonight or over the weekend, and I think he will, because he'll look at that and he'll just go, you know, because he's been so good for our game.
He has.
But, yeah, and I know what you're saying, but I still
say the apology doesn't excuse that behaviour, because the only excuse for that behaviour is don't do it. Don't do it. Full stop. But when you have done it, you still got to come out and give an apology.
All right. We're going to take a quick break, Gerds. You want a final thought before we go to the ads?
Oh, look, I just think that, especially as the captain, it's probably his first time that he's going to come on. His captaincy's going to come under the microscope a little bit. We saw it with Jared Hayne at the start of last year when he just didn't know how to handle his emotions, you know, that well, and the press got on him, and some of the, you know, the media really got into him and said that you need to learn how to behave in that role. And I think this is probably just a steep learning curve for James, who needs to keep his emotions in check and make sure that he's better next time if he gets in the same situation.
All right, the bottles are being cleared here, by the way, so they were on the field for about 40 minutes after the game. Very quickly, Wendell.
Bill, they're saying that he's been struck before. The referee, Morris, has been struck before in the past.
I don't know, mate.
Yeah, that's it. So.
All right, hopefully we'll have an update on. Hopefully the refs are okay after that disgraceful incident. But Des Hasler apologising on behalf of the club for the fans' behaviour. Let's take a quick break. This was the play of the day. More after this.
This is the Triple M NRL play of the day.
Rolling over the Reynolds is no good. Reynolds is no good. James Graham signalling to the...
Reynolds is on his back. He's in agony. This is an illegal tackle from Graham, who has gone down low and connected with his head with Reynolds' boot. Oh, it's a penalty! Oh. It's a penalty to South! Graham has walked away in disgust.
The contact's on report, and because it's a field goal, the penalty's in front.
Oh, Graham's pointing at It's a penalty to win the game. It's going to be a good one.
Unbelievable, Dan.
He gets the kick, 18-17.
Unbelievable.
We've had so much controversy this year, and this could be the most controversial of the lot.
Hey, it's Jude Bolton here. Every week on Triple M, you'll hear the Swans on their march to another premiership.
Sydney have won on the last kick.
Tomorrow evening, it's the Swans and Essendon.
From the first bounce
What's going on?
to the final siren in 2015.
Buddy! Unbelievable!
For McDonald's and for the fans. Triple M rocks football.
You know what it's like when you've had a big game, big surf, big night out, big hunger hits, and you need a feed. Oh man, I'm starving. Oh, yeah, me too. A Porto's new Buffalo Wings meal will satisfy even the biggest hunger. 3 fresh, not frozen chicken wings with a buffalo flavour kick, a legendary single fillet Bondi burger, hot chips and an icy cold drink, all for just $10. Oh, that's better.
Just gotta go a Porto.
Get a load of this. With Sportsbet on any of the first 4 races on the Championships Day 1, place a win or each way bet, and if your horse runs second or third, cash back up to $100. It's Sportsbet's awesome racing carnival. Download us. Conditions apply and gamble responsibly.
At IINet, we know how hard it is as a startup business. We've been there. That's why we offer support 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. What that means is when you're working round the clock to get your business off the ground, we're right there with you. We've made it our business to help yours. So, if it's internet, website, or phone solutions you need, call IINet. Anytime. IINet. Business just got easier.
Dreaming about starting your own business but don't know how to get it off the ground? Well, don't quit your day job just yet. Instead, start your business as a side job and use what I call the trapeze strategy. That's exactly how I started the Barefoot Investor a dozen years ago. Now, picture your current job as a trapeze. If you let go now, you'll fall. So instead, hustle, swing on that trapeze and get enough momentum up until you know you can reach out and grab that next income stream. Then let go of your old job and keep on swinging.
At IINet, we know how hard it is as a startup business. We've been there. That's why we offer support 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. What that means is when you're working round the clock to get your business off the ground, we're right there with you. We've made it our business to help yours. So if it's internet, website, or phone solutions you need, call IINet. Anytime. IINet. Business just got easier.
Celebrate your local club's contribution to your community. Vote for them now in the People's Choice Awards. It's your chance to win a $10,000 luxury holiday and give a $10,000 donation to your chosen charity, thanks to Clubs New South Wales and Community First Credit Union. It's win-win and give. Great communities are built on giving. That's why local clubs are not-for-profit and aim to donate over $100 million to charitable groups in 2015. Vote to enter now at yourlocalclub.com.au.
Telstra's upping the data over the coming months for Telstra Biz Essentials customers who joined before March 3. And you don't have to do or pay anything to get it. It's one small way Telstra's helping business owners like you. Visit telstra.com/bizessentials.
Triple M NRL Easter Sunday footy live from Allianz. The Roosters take on the Sharks. Coverage from midday.
The footy's never sounded better. Triple M NRL.
Harvey Norman Home Appliances. Big brands, bigger value.
You've incited some Twitter reaction, Bill Harrigan. We do tweets for Ream Hot Water Heaters. I'll go through some shortly, mostly from Canterbury fans. And their argument is this: if the referees weren't so incompetent, then we wouldn't have had a situation like we did this afternoon. That's the general gist. I won't go through them all one by one. Even a Triple M staff member, Hugh Finane, a newsreader's fired up. He's obviously an upset Canterbury fan as well. Wendell Saylor, Ryan
Who's fired up?
Huey, yeah, the newsreader.
He has not, Huey.
He's fired up.
Oh, come on, Huey, stick together, brother. What's he said,
Well,
Huey?
he's agreeing with you and Wendell.
Oh, yeah, no, keep going, Huey.
Yeah, good on you, Huey.
We do
That's
it for Harvey Norman. Don't forget, if you're living in Queensland, you will get the derby. Well, how can that live up to what we've just seen here? Gold Coast versus Brisbane from Seabus Super Stadium. That will start in just over an hour, the coverage. So you've got an hour gap, and then they kick in the boys, Dobbo and Gordy and Scott Prince, from 7 o'clock local time. And you can hear that game on the app, wherever you're listening, and also triplem.com.au. Yes,
I mean, Desi was great, and he did really well. And as you said, Billy, there was only the one thing missing, and I think that'll come. But I didn't see the incident. Obviously, he stated about the Josh Morris. So I think then he was talking about the quick kickoff, and then we saw, I think it was Goodwin go up and took the ball, and that was the end of the game. So obviously, during that play, Des feels and the players feels that Josh Morris was actually run off the ball or taken out and wasn't given the opportunity to get the ball back, and therefore a penalty would have given Hodgkinson the opportunity to kick for the win. Did anyone see that?
No, I was wondering what he was talking about when he said kick off.
I saw Goodwin. He had a good leap there, but Josh and Brett Morris were both lined up here, and all of a sudden, Goodwin had a pretty good jump, and I just thought it was a clean catch. I didn't see you get run off the ball.
We got tweeters coming through. Now, you've got to understand these are... We can't qualify these. They're random people. Not to talk you down, but these people are saying... someone says here, I suspect the ambulance is for a South fan who was knocked out at Gate J. Bulldogs fans were helping him as he walked out. Alex, I don't think the ambo was for the ref, but for the South supporter King hit outside Gate K. So that's around the same area. I assume that's the same incident. So dear. Now, again, that's two people that we can't verify, saying that's what's happened. So can't cast aspersions
allegedly.
Yet, but that is absolutely disgraceful if that has gone on. So...
See, that's the sort of thing where you say, well, I'm not going to football. If it's a Dogs game or something like that, and that's very unfortunate. You just say, well, I don't want to go to the footy.
Well, through the 90s, that was a problem at Canterbury games, and the club has worked so hard at weeding out those people, and Canterbury is one of the safest places, ANZ Stadium, to go to until today when we've seen a couple of dozen people fired up.
As Desi said, yep, a minority within that group are spoiling it for the good work that the Dogs have done over the last 10 years.
Yeah, so...
And they have done a lot of good stuff. You're right, Billy. Mate, in the community, I think, their charities, they do some great stuff, and it's unfortunate, but there's always going to be a few.
This is Triple M NRL for Harvey Norman as we do the 2015 NRL Telstra Premierships. All those interviews, those press conferences, thanks to Best Sheds, by the way, up to 40% cheaper, guaranteed. bestsheds.com.au. Now, we've hardly talked about the game. Now, forget the final moment. But how did South hang around for this game, Gerds? They were totally outplayed for most of it.
Oh, I forget, Dan. It feels like it was like last week. Look, the second half, I felt like they sort of had the better in the running, didn't they? Early on in the second half, they got that try at half time, and then they got themselves back in the contest. The Bulldogs had some opportunities early in that second half, just couldn't put the South Sydney side away. And on the back of that, they just found some belief, and as they spoke about desire and the process that they all stuck to, Keary did do a fantastic job when he went into hooker. He started opening up some different opportunities through the ruck there, and they got that try, and that was sort of the start for them. And then they were able to sort of hold on. They drew level there, and then you thought, well, they're coming. There's 5 minutes left. South Sydney have got all the momentum. They could actually do this. And then all of a sudden we get the kick-off. Keary goes to take it, pulls out late, hits Big George Burgess, you know where, and then all of a sudden in front of the goals, cool, calm, collected. Hodgkinson as just, good setup, well done to the forwards. Clemmer had a fantastic game today. Set aside, obviously, the incident at the end. I thought he was really, really good. A lot to go for. James Graham spent a fair bit of time on the bench.
Yeah.
And then when he came on, he was super good. And then all of a sudden, they're up by one. Then it's even. And then, the rest, Dan. Incredible afternoon of footy.
The debate continues at triplem.com.au. We've got to go. Plenty of talk tomorrow on Dead Set Legends, and then Saturday Triple M NRL. So Dogs fans and South fans, you can vent tomorrow morning. What a game. Here are the highlights. We're underway. South Sydney kick us off. Canterbury with Graham throwing it to Mbai. He throws a loose pass, bounces into the hands of Rona. He's got space, reaches out and scores! Last tackle. Lisha goes right to Hodgkinson. Quick pass to Jackson. Trouble. Jackson throws it, bounces into the hands of Parrott. Parrott dives to the line and scores! Play to Luke. Goes himself from dummy half. Sees the line. He reaches out. I think he gets there. He's been hurt the tackle. He's been KO'd. So Luke has got blood pouring from the bottom of his right ear. Josh Morris has stuck his leg out to try and force the ball free.
And Sam Cassiano, his whole body weight has come down on the head of Isaac Luke.
It's on report, and it'll be a possible 8-point try. Absolutely.
Here's Lisha on the last to Josh Reynolds. He kicks, ricochets. Josh Morris comes up with it, gets over and scores. Comes to the left to Clark. Clark to Adam Reynolds. He kicks, ricochets into the hands of Tyrrell, and South will score. Penalty. Penalty South. He moves in, starts it right, curling back, he got it! They're playing for the one, it would appear. They go deep left. Here's Hodgkinson. He steadies. He shoots. He's got it. Trent Hodgkinson has done it again. Rolling over the back.
Reynolds is no good. Reynolds is no good. James Graham signalling to the...
Reynolds is on his back. He's in agony. It's an illegal tackle from Graham, who has gone down low and connected with his head with Reynolds' boot. Oh, it's a penalty! It's a penalty to South! Graham has walked away in disgust.
The contact's on report, and because it's a field goal, the penalty's in front.
It's a penalty to win the game. It's going to be a good one.
Unbelievable, Dan.
He gets the kick, 18-17.